Oh, howdy all, grab yourselves a beer. It is time for some Path of Exile gameplay. Welcome back to the Endless Delve event. After a very difficult start and a fairly busy first day, I am now sitting at level 38 and everything is starting to come together. So this is the Raider build that I'm playing. This is softcore, so I can be a bit reckless, I can make mistakes, which is probably good because I've had one of those exhausting days where it's going to be draining. I'll make mistakes, which are going to be good to laugh at, but ultimately that's part of the fun, is taking on stuff that is difficult for your character and either prevailing or failing in hilarious ways. Okay, so this is a Raider build. The Raider has a number of synergies, but mostly coming down to just the incredible move speed buffs that the build gets with the Vortex build. So you've got incredible move speed from the Onslaught node. You also have the Quartz Infusion and Avatar of the Veil nodes from the Ascendancy, which provide considerable offense as well. And also just the utility of phasing. Now, I don't have all of that yet. Most of that starts coming online in quite a little while, actually. As you can see here that I'm getting overwhelmed. That's sort of normal if you're trying to progress quickly through the Delve Mines. I'm currently looking for a Jade Flask. I can't seem to get one for the life of me. And as a result, I'm making do with really, really bad flasks currently. I'm using Frostblink as a move skill, and Frostblink has been really good so far. At very late level, I'm going to pick up Elemental Equilibrium, and at that point, I'm going to want to replace my move skill with something else. This is reminding me that I have a new loot filter set up as well, which I need to actually activate on the character. But let's just deal with all of the trash. Take out all the trash first. Okay, so let's just do the quickly loot filter thing. Sets in UI, and I wasn't able to rename it. There's something a bit strange going on with the loot filters in general. But that should be the correct new loot filter, which was updated this morning. For some reason, it was really playing up a lot. So we're starting to level a number of the support gems and skill gems. This should show a bunch of 4 links. And 4 links are kind of useful. I'm looking for something that's a genuinely good helmet, but I kind of need intelligence on it. I'm going to spend my alchemies here. This is kind of okay. I'm willing to use this if I can get the int solved, but until I can get the int solved, it's a no-go. And the mesh gloves are, I'm still using absolute trash there, but unfortunately I don't have the strength. So I could use those if I roll well on them, but for the moment, let's not bother with that. Essences will be really good from that perspective. So I'm going to hit this random node over here. So this is miles below my character level, which is actually kind of useful because you still got a lot of XP at 5 levels below your character. As you can see, like, XP in the Endless Delve is incredible. You've got to brute force your way through the first node. The first node is really broken. They really stuffed up when it came to balancing that. But once you do, everything else seems to be cruisy. So this is the Delve node that you might be familiar with if you've ever delved before. It's pretty common. You got to poison 4 blocks of meat, and then once you've done that, you'll get a bunch of trash monsters coming and attacking you. Those things, as much as they look terrifying, they are not. So you can just basically act as though they aren't there at all. My flasks in general are terrible at the moment. That's because I just haven't had utility flasks dropping. So I'm still using things that I really shouldn't be. But hey, that's part of playing solo self-done environment, is you make do with inferior flasks that are not at all... Oh, Jade Flask! I was complaining about not getting a Jade Flask then, and then the game has blessed me. Okay, Jade Flask was what I was really looking for, so I'm very happy with that drop. I will pick up the Moonstone Ring. I don't have high expectations for it, and unfortunately, I've already got all my flare caches sorted. So let's just quickly jump back to the town at the moment, and we will have a look and see if we've got enough Azurite to make any purchases. We don't currently. Oh, I've got that. Flare radius is surprisingly important. I will point that out. Now at this point, since I've loaded back into the game, I have not yet reopened Path of Building. So I'm going to do that in the background, although that won't be particularly noticeable to players. To people following along on the stream. And now at this point, I've got myself set up with where I want to be. Now, when it comes to the various items I've just looted, this I picked up because it was a quad link. It's a 4-link set of boots. That's a good combination of mods. I'd conceivably use something else here if I had the alchemy or an essence, which I don't, unfortunately. This has a strength requirement and it's got bad mods on it. This is just generally bad, so let's just vendor all this stuff. And then have a look what we've got here. Okay, mesh gloves, no, that can go away. Bone circlet, I could conceivably use that with an alch, but I'll get more of them. 4 links are not particularly rare at this point of the game. And that is trashed here. Now this here was sort of solid. I'm just going to keep this for the moment. You'll notice I'm sitting here with Swift Affliction and Hypothermia support. The reason that they're sitting there is because they are basically gems that I have a plan for. I'm currently using a 4-link Vortex. Were I to get lucky and get a 5-link, I would equip one of these 2 support gems on it. Fireball and Frenzy here are just here because they're things that I will eventually want. Okay, so I've only got 1 glass blowers, but I can purchase another one. So there's a couple of recipes that don't get used much in trade leagues, but this is one of them that's really important to know about. So you can turn 8 blacksmith's whetstones into a glass blower's bauble, and then at this point I want to see if I've got enough armorer's scraps. I don't have enough armorer's scraps to continue on that road, so I'm not going to do that any further. Let's just transmute this and roll it. Now it's absolutely essential for this build that I get myself the suffix of reflexes, and once I've got that suffix, I'm actually really happy with this. So it's pity that I'm getting a bunch of other good mods, like Chemist's Jade Flask of Warding is really good in general, but it's not what I need. Reflexes, perfect. It's only 82%, but that's good enough. Who knows, if it gets a great prefix, I may even, and that is a great prefix, it may even be something worthy of the first Divine Orb that drops for me. Okay, so now let's have a quick look-see at which of these 2 we want to replace. You know, I'm going to do that. That's my anti-bleed flask. Oh, it's Caustic. Nah, Caustic can just go away. I will just live without an anti-bleed. And yeah, you'll see here that someone that is in my friends list is complaining about SSF and how they can't get their hands on certain flasks. That is definitely something that's really noticeable in this event. Okay, I'm just having a quick check if there's anyone attempting to chat at the moment. I'm not seeing any chat in the YouTube console, but I'm just having a quick look to see if there is anyone saying anything. So someone has... Oh, good. I'm seeing YouTube console, but I'm just having a quick look. Okay, I had a bit of an echo there. Hey, thanks, Rocky. Okay, that's really strange. Why did I not see Rocky's comment? Oh, there it is. It's finally showed up. Okay, so it's showing up with a bit more latency here. That is fine. I can live with that. Let's push down.
I'm not up to that just yet.
You'll notice here it's so good having Onslaught all the time. Onslaught is just fun. It feels great. And it lets you dodge things really effectively. Like, that's the thing that made me decide to go with Raider. It's a combination of being able to actively dodge enemy skills while also being able to apply damage more effectively because you're spending less time dodging things and more time less time moving, more time being active, less time just moving around. That's really interesting. So that was a 6 socket item. Now you'll notice that I'm not currently at high enough item level for that to drop normally. Ruby Flask I don't want, but there are some vendor recipes with them, so I'm going to pick it up. Those 6 sockets I am going to vendor, but they're interesting in that they did drop. The reason for that is that they came from an encrusted chest, and encrusted chests are rolled as though they've had an encrusted fossil applied, then they're scoured. So that's where the arena plate, which I couldn't use, is strength-based, and this sun leather, which is kind of okay. It's pretty solid colours at first, so you realise it's if it was the other way around, 4 blue, 2 green, I'd potentially be more likely to keep it. So let's have a look at this iron ring, which is I was about to say is probably rubbish. So 57 life. That's more life than this coral ring has, and this coral ring has nothing else on it. So I'm actually going to equip that, and I will ditch this coral ring. I'll have a look at what the other ring is. It's this ring is actually not terrible. I mean, it's bad, but it's fine for this level, so I'm going to keep the other ring. Alrighty. Let's push down. We have this essence node here is interesting. So the question is, how do you get to that? The only spot it's going to come from is going to be this frozen hollow. This frozen hollow has has only 2 paths coming out of it. And generally the delve mines are sort of allergic to having 2 paths out of them. So let's do that now. Because I could definitely use an essence pull. Okay, so we'll pop the buried camp, and then we're going to look for where that essence is. We have 2 dynamites and 6 of the flares currently. Hey JH, how's it going? Not got any quicksilvers? Yeah, I got lucky. I got my quicksilver really early. Jade flask took me a bit longer, but it wasn't too bad. I did get lucky on the flasks though. Tom D, yeah, Occultist I think is the meta choice. I do think it's probably the best choice. I wanted something different, and I wanted something that looked like fun. And honestly, Raider has a lot of synergy with the build. I think that Occultist and Trickster are the 2 best choices. But Raider is something that's close enough and is different. And it's what I wanted to go with. Did you see the guide that Shack Central posted? That I put a link to in my community feed for an Occultist version of this build? He's sort of one of the real authorities on the Path of Exile forum about it. Knows his stuff, and he's playing Occultist in this league. So someone who's really worth following if you don't. Okay, well now it's time to go for a little bit of a friendly walk. These azurite veins are really important at the moment. Those things will make your day. Just being able to have a little bit more azurite, being able to go into the darkness like I just did there. And to do so at lower cost in terms of risk of life and, you know, risk of getting killed in there. Plus you'll pick up the occasional thing like that. Now that Frigid Fossil isn't particularly amazing, but it's something I'll have a use for. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to link it while I'm playing, Tom, but it's on the community feed. So if you look at my my YouTube account and then the community feed from it, it'll be the very most recent comment that I made was a link to his Occultist. Also in the video I made of the build I'm playing, I put a link to Shack Central's written guide on the YouTube on the Path of Exile forums. Oh, I just copped Kitava's Cruel Affliction whilst in the middle of a zone. That is something to watch out for if you are playing in hardcore. That would have been absolutely brutal. Grabbing that Sacred Life Flask, I think it's one that's important. Studded Belt I can leave. So yeah, getting Kitava's Cruel Affliction out of, like, in the middle of an encounter is really brutal. I wasn't expecting that. Although I will get away with it because of Arumvarax. Yeah, 2 Cold Iron points and or Obliteration ones. Good luck on that front. Especially because you can't mix and match them. That's the thing that's really brutal with it. I've heard Creeping Frost is really good. I have no knowledge or experience about that, Claudia, but I have heard that it is very good. So yeah, I'm not using it just because I'm sticking with what I know at the moment, but it does seem to be popular. I do agree. I do agree. Like, critically assess everything he says. I think that is wrong as well. Although, by all means try it. It does have its benefits as well. But yeah, I think that would be a divergence I'd make from the build. What am I doing? I'm going for Fingers of Frost at the moment, aren't I? That's my next big node. Rhyme Gaze, I think, is a medium tier rarity. Don't count on it, but if you get it, great. Like, I'm sort of hoping I'll see it, but I don't think I will. That is Krangle. That can go away. And this, oh yeah, that was the intelligence. That was conditional upon getting intelligence. So let's just vendor that, and we will deposit everything. I need to grab my Fossil tab. Fossil tab is actually going to be something that I'll use quite a bit here, I think. So I need to set my affinity on it. Then I can just go back to this here. Yeah, creeping on a 4-link sounds... it does sound like it's quite solid. Would you consider giving up Cold Snap for it, or not? Okay, I've done something wrong here. I've accidentally turned off one of my auras. I need to fix my auras. They shouldn't be on my first hotbar. So easy to make that misclick. Okay, so there's our Fractured Wall. These Fractured Walls are really worth hitting if you get used to the patterns that they have. So that's a guaranteed unique, the Hidden Treasures node. There's also a Hidden Heirlooms node, which is guaranteed Time Worn unique. And there's another node in between them, Hidden Something, which is 3 unique items. Uniques really being scarce in solo self-found. That's a good thing to have. And here we go with the encounter. These encounters are no joke when you get deeper. At the moment, it should be fine. But these will become more and more brutal later on, mostly because it's very hard to mitigate these various physical spells. Physical spells are just the hardest things enemies use to mitigate. If you're looking for Vile Cold Snap, Claudia, all you need to do is just use a Vile Orb on a vendor purchase Cold Snap. It's a different thing if you want to get a high quality Cold Snap, but if you just, high quality Vile Cold Snap, but if you just want the skill, all it's going to take you is using that Vile Orb. You'll notice here how powerful probabilistic defense is, where I'm just getting slammed at by enemies and I'm just not caring about it because, well, at least while my Jade Flask runs strong, because the evasion is enough. I'm not evading everything, but I'm evading enough that I don't really care. And that's the power of that. That's the power of that lucky Jade Flask drop that I just had, just at the start of this stream. Yeah, Vile Orbs aren't common, but they will get more common, especially if you prioritize currency nodes. There's a chest that frequently drops in the currency nodes that you'll get. You'll get lots of them, and they will help you. So that's the first Cobalt Jewel I've had. I'm going to loot that. That, unfortunately, is completely useless, that Fright Claw of Weaponcraft. That is literally just a Fright Claw, because you've got no... oh no, it's Current Rock Caster mods. I thought it was the one that was of crafting. Yeah, this leveling experience is different and fun. I definitely agree. It's a blast to do this leveling. I do think it would get stale quickly though, especially with how horrible the first node was. Yeah, because it's so fast to level, I think it's a perfect time to experiment with something new and weird and wonderful. That was one of the things that pulled me towards the Raider. It's like, I thought this had potential, but I wasn't sure that it was a good build. So I was like, oh well, why don't I just give it a shot in a world where, if it does turn out to be bad, it's only going to be 3 hours to get back to level 75. Yeah, the shield is ridiculous. I think that shield would be a chase item in a trade league. I mean, obviously depending on the rarity, but it would be a chase item because in-game players would want it. Not necessarily a headhunter level chase item, but a chase item like, say, the Atzuri shield, the Prophecy Atzuri shield. I died heaps on it because I was trying to do it with Burning Arrow, which was a mistake. I should have bought Caustic Arrow, but I didn't think of that. For some reason, I thought Caustic Arrow was a higher level skill. Oh, there's 41. Yep. Yeah, no, I think if it was available in trade leagues, there would be builds that would use it. There'd be builds that would never get rid of that shield. It's that nuts. Okay, so let's just quickly jump back to town. It's the starter shield that a lot of classes get. 30% spell dodge as an explicit mod, with the other mods being sort of vaguely okay. Tear of Purity, that's the one that vials into that interesting item. Let me think. I'm going to keep my hands on that. Or am I going to vial it? No, I'm not going to waste my only vial so far. Let's just drop a bunch of things away. So these should get affinity, and they did. Good. Oh yeah, that's right. It has endurance charge generation, doesn't it? So that's really, really good. I think it's just incredible. It is definitely one of the most powerful items that the game has seen. Is it a 5-link that's at least serviceable, or is it one that's actually completely useless? And I've done it again. I've turned... Alright, let's just remove these from this hotbar before we... I was fine with tanking it for a bit, but I just get overwhelmed by the monsters spawning faster than I could kill them, and then eventually I couldn't tank them. That was my experience with that node. Oh, we got one of these drop bear nodes. Welcome to Australia, we have drop bears. Oh yeah, Copper Lash I've wanted to play for a bit and I haven't got around to. So it's quite good, is it? Oh, Regal Orb. Regal Orbs are really strong. Like, they're one of those things that in trade leagues, they get super common, so no one actually cares about them. But in anything that's solo self-found adjacent like this, they are genuinely quite rare. So lesser poison was enough from that perspective. That's good to know. I guess it has... The chain is really strong on it. Ah, there's the fractured wall. I'm going to smash this one. Yep. Have a quick look. That's a hidden riches node. They're quite useful. That's the one from memory that has a lot of the middle tier stuff, like the Scouring Orb that I got. The 3 Scouring Orbs I got. It has a lot of middle tier currency, that node. And then there's Hidden Opulence is the genuinely rare one that often has exalts. Okay, so we'll just jump in there, jump out. So one of the reasons I'm using Cold Snap, people have mentioned that some of you are skipping that, is it has Bone Chill, and Bone Chill works as a multiplier for the main skill. That's one of the things that's really, really strong about this build, is that some of your damage multipliers are links on other skills rather than your main one. As much as those things look imposing, those projectiles from the Delve monsters there, they are an absolute joke that can be ignored. So Bone Chill provides a damage, it increases cold damage over time that the monster suffers. So it's kind of like shocking a monster in that it provides a multiplier to all cold damage over time that monster suffers, even if it's from another source. And so the multiplier that the Cold Snap imposes actually applies to your Vortex, yes. Which is a bonkers combination. It's one of the key things that makes this build viable, honestly, because the damage numbers are too low otherwise. But that pushes it over the line, that interaction. Especially as Bone Chill starts leveling up as well and just keeps doing more and more for you. Okay, so here we have a kind of bonkers encounter full of monsters. 4-link that's absolutely useless to me, unfortunately. This is the Black Hole Vortex MTX. It's a normal store purchase. I think it's like 120 points or something like that. It's not expensive. And this monster does not want to die. I don't yet have some of the damage multipliers, so the tougher monsters like that are more durable than they normally would be. That's an energy shield based item. These Vital Armor ones give you life items. They can be quite good. They're always worth checking. You know, that's probably better than what I'm wearing, so I'll have a look at that. Quad-link satin gloves as well. I will definitely pick that up. And what are these things? Oh, these are Crangled. Okay, so plus pseudo level of Curse Gems is cool, but unfortunately I'm not going to use one of them. Ooh, 20% move speed with some other mods on it. That's good. I will pick that one up. Everything else can stay there. Traveler's Armor will always have move speed on an item, and that's got both intelligence and move speed, so I'm going to keep that. And let's just jump back to town and have a look, because we got a bunch of cool stuff out of that. So I've got a... I've only got 10% move speed on this. So that's very easily upgraded from, although it comes at a consequence of needing to get a quad link somewhere else, which conveniently, these gloves are rubbish. So these gloves aren't total rubbish, and they are kind of rubbish, but they're still better than that. I'm just going to use these. I'm going to roll them to get a single green on them, and then move what's in my boots there. Perfect. First roll, that's always good. The reason that was easy to roll is because it's got such a high intelligence requirement, so there's a strong bias towards sockets being blue. So let's have a quick look here at what we've got in the way of mods. So that's got intelligence on it, which is really useful, because that frees up my helmet. My helmet's bad. I've known it's been bad for a while. This has life. This has a resist. Yeah, so this is just objectively better than what I had. So I will equip that. And then at this point, let's go and vendor some stuff. Alright, you have been good for a long time, some of those items, but they're not good. Just soft drink, mate. I had a couple of beers before I was jumping on the stream, but I finally got a chance to catch up with some friends I haven't seen in ages today, now that the pandemic's sort of largely under control here. It's gotten to be the point that it's safe to catch up with people and still be responsible, so I got to do that today, and that's why it's so late in the day that I'm actually getting around to finally playing some Path of Exile in this event. So mana has been a real issue. I want an enduring mana flask. I'm just going to roll over this until I either get an enduring mana flask or something that's good enough to function. Like something that feels too good to roll over. Caustic could go away, always. Flagellance, steadiness, no, I'm not going to bother with that. Oh, look, I want an Ample of Warding. I'm just going to keep that. Okay, so at this point, it's back into the Delve Mines after we go to the Voltaxic Generator. So do keep your Voltaxic Generator going. You want to try and keep this close to 75, but that might ruin your Azurite amount. I'm actually going to prioritize that, and 70... Oh, it's capped... It's not actually capped at 70 here. It's that 44 was a mistake. That was showing where I was before. I will also purchase the next flare upgrade. And let's keep pushing down. I've got to say, this event has been so much fun already. Like, even though I've only been able to play it for a little bit, it is really worth fighting through the horror that is the first node, because the first node is really unbalanced and really wrong. But once you get past it, it will be worth it. I do think that the next time they run this, they need to fix that, though. And in fact, I'd be in favour of an emergency patch to it. Even though, like, that might seem a bit unfair for those of us who've already got through it, I still think it's worth it, because it'll make the overall experience of the event better. I died so many times on that first node. Most of them were things where, like, I wouldn't have died except that I had no reason to fight to stay alive. Like, I wasn't using logout or anything like that. But it was just wrong. Yeah, this has been a great race already. Like, sort out the teething issues, work out the exact way to do it again, but this needs to be done again because it is a lot of fun. I'd like to see it done as a group event too. I think there'd be a lot of potential for that. Like, that would require quite a bit of changing of the way it's set up, but I do think that it's going to be popular enough to warrant that. I honestly don't think it would work well as a permanent mode. Like, I think it's something that it should be restricted to people that have beaten the campaign, and maybe made some milestone, like maybe completed Eternal Labyrinth at least once. But I do think that it would be like, it wouldn't work as well, because I don't think it's going to play as well once we get to like level 82. I think that's the reason it's going to start. That's when it's going to start falling off. Like, when the super fast progression ends. I do think there's space, though, for an entire game that has this delve-style gameplay to it. I think there's, like, there could be a smaller action RPG, like as a competitor Path of Exile, that captures the feel of delve really well and captures that as its goal. And I think it would do well as a, like, second player in the action RPG genre. Or third if Diablo ever gets its act together. How do you get your Ascendancy Journal? Achieve level 33, or 55, or 68, or 75. Yeah, they got the first node wrong. Like, the first node needs to be fixed. I don't think there's any more really to say than that. It's crangled. Like, it's broken badly.
I'm not up to that just yet.
83. Congrats, mate. That's doing well. How are you looking on the? And also, I like the username. Username definitely suits that. I haven't been able to know life, but I had social plans today, so I went and caught up with friends that the pandemic has meant that I haven't been able to see for a while, and then that meant that I had to pay a price for that, and that price is still being level 40 something now. It was worth it though, especially when I realised that like a whole bunch of friends I saw today, only 2 of them have I seen during the pandemic. Been awful. Yeah, I mean, look, it's one of those things with being in Australia at the moment. We had a bad period around August in Melbourne, but now, like, the government here has actually did the proper lockdown that made it safe to do stuff like that. I think we haven't had a case of community transmission in the state since like about the 31st of October or so. Maybe it was the 1st or 2nd of November. That's the last day where there was community transmission. So, an offering to the goddess. That's not very useful at all. I was hoping that I'd get an enchanted helmet from that. So I'm picking up all these cold dot multis. These are going to be incredible nodes, especially Fingers of Frost. Fingers of Frost is going to be an absolute game changer. Let's go hit the Harbinger. These Harbinger nodes are incredible XP. Oh god, yeah. No, I really feel for the people in the UK. It's like, we had the same numbers in my city alone that your entire country had on the 2nd of August, which was the worst we ever got. But then we went into serious lockdown after that. Like, we're talking nightly curfew, most businesses ordered shut, and kept it up. And it actually fixed it. Like, we actually solved the problem here. And so then it ended up that we can now reopen actually safely. Oh, I'm taking some serious damage here. These Harbinger nodes, I don't think of them as hard, but I probably should. I think they're a bit harder than they look.
I'm not up to that just yet.
But yeah, make sure you stay safe, vegan. Stay safe and look after anyone you know that's that's sort of immunocompromised or older or whatever. Help them get through. Like, just from a psychological standpoint, for them having having an IT setup so they can do video calls is an absolute godsend. If you've got like parents or grandparents or whatever that are not tech savvy, but that are people that are super at risk. So these Harbinger nodes, they give all the XP at the end. So I'm sitting at 40% right now. And we will see just where that goes when it finishes. They have to give all the XP at the end. They used to not do that. But it was like the most crazy exploit to just repeat these nodes. Like, to intentionally fail them and then come back. You may notice my frenzy charge situation keeps going up and down. That's cold snap on its own. Yeah, that's one of the things that's difficult. Like, when there's a small number of cases and they're then there's complacency sets in and all the businesses say, let us open now, when it's actually like, you know, we opened 2 weeks later than it might have been safe to, and that meant that it actually worked. Like, we eradicated it in the entire state. It's come back in from return travellers, but it's in completely managed areas. Oh my god! Do you see that XP there? Wow, that was 65% of a level from that encounter. That was crazy. Okay, let's... I don't actually know why I'm picking up these shards. I guess I probably should. Why not? Let's just pick them up. There's something to use. Binding shards. Maybe I'll get another one of those Harvey nodes. Maybe I won't, and then they'll just sit in my inventory. What depth are you at, Blaze One? Because I do think that Champion Ground Slam Impale should be pretty solid for getting quite deep. These I need to ID before I vendor them. Yep, they can go straight to the vendor. Cabalist Regalia. It's probably going to be better than that if I elk it, but I don't have the elks. Springleaf, Springleaf, Springleaf. Imperfect roll. Worst possible roll. I agree with that, Sleep. I definitely agree with that. It's really satisfying. And like I say, it was an important exploit fix. You know, like, as fun as it was to do the thing once, that sort of stuff doesn't stay fun long. Alright, that is Fingers of Frost. That's nice. Tip myself another drink. Then grab all of my gem level ups. Chaos Recipe I haven't considered yet. So I'm going to say no to that, JH, for now. But I'm open to the possibility of changing my mind on that later. So to start with, my answer is no. But let's see how we go. If it turns out that I hit a point where I feel like I've got all the bases I want to craft, and I am actually constrained by Chaos Recipe, by Chaos Orbs, then yeah, I will do it then. I feel like I'm more going to be searching for uniques though. This is new ground though. Let's see how it actually plays out. You know, you can speculate all you want, but ultimately, we're going to find out for real when we get there. I should actually check what my resists are at the moment. I hit the Katava's Cruel Affliction recently, and I haven't checked what they are since. I have a Rumvarax as a stat stick, and a Rumvarax is really good. Like, I gotta say, it's an absolute... I think it's wrong to call it God tier unique, but it's a strong unique here. And I don't usually think of that as a leveling unique, but it's been really good so far. I'm picking up that Sage Wand. The intention there is that it may get used for... at a later point. So, let's have a look and see. This is probably going straight to the ground. And yes, it is. Side rooms for uniques. Yeah, all I'll say on those is good luck. Obliteration is uncommon. I wouldn't call it rare, but I wouldn't call it common. I have a feeling that it is the global, like the unallocated loot chests like this one, that are the best, but I'm not sure of that. And also Fractured Walls. Fractured Walls for uniques are very good. Are you familiar with how to find Fractured Walls reliably? So there'll be one in this square of the mine zone. I also feel that the uniques you're chasing have high item level requirements. I can't remember them all, but... So we're getting reasonably close to hitting 55 now. 55 will give me a permanent 20% move speed, as well as other mods. Oh, we've got the crazy one. So this mod is Allies Can't Die, and it makes things crazy when it pops up. Fortunately, I was able to just tank and spank it. Oh, okay, so 62, yeah. So your first priority, if you're not already there, is just to push to 62. And then after that, you can start prioritizing just going for as many uniques as possible.
My mana is gone.
I don't have very much single target, as you can see at the moment. And that's fine. That's partly because I'm geared for resist at the moment, rather than for anything else. Damage can come later. Okay, so let's just jump back to town quickly, and we will do that first, and then we will have a look-see at what we've got. Nah, trash. Why did I pick that up? Because it's chromatic. Chromatic orbs are going to be scarce in this event. That's vendor trash. That's vendor trash. Oh, I mean, the resists on this aren't awful, but it has no life at all, so it's going to the vendor. Oh, cool. Oh, look, honestly, there's always a thing where games are not always the most important thing in life, as much as we would like them to be. I'm using an absolutely awful amulet at the moment, so let's try and upgrade that. Oh, we got a good life roll. Okay, that one goes away. And let's have a look at our resists. So, I'm overcapped on cold, and I'm under on fire and lightning, but I'm not absolutely crangled. That is a very good idea, JH, if you want to do that. You can get away with that, and you'll be fine. I do like that idea, Tom. That is definitely strong. Okay, so knockback is useless. Extra charges are nice, but... Oh, perfect. That's what we want. That seems really good. I'm going to use this in place of my weaker flask. So now, this actually functions as a life flask of sort. Consecrated Ground regenerates a lot of life, so I'm kind of happy with that setup. Now I need to quickly jump to my path building and check. So my next goal is to move to Heart and Soul. Sleep deprived. I picked up the loot filter that was put out by Neversink. Oh, what have I just done? I've just crangled something. That's uncrangled now. Let me just make sure that I didn't break anything with that misclick. Okay, I didn't. Yeah, look, Glancing Blows is... It's not a way of taking less damage, but it is a way of taking less big hits. Same reason that people often like to take, what's the node down here? Wind Dancer. Wind Dancer is something that is not something that... And in fact, this is on my short list of nodes to possibly take. Oh, wow. 95 already. Good on you. It's not on my short list of nodes to... Sorry, it's on my short list of nodes to take. But that's just as something that will, will make variance less likely to kill you. Even though you don't take less damage, variance is less likely to kill you. That's the purpose of it. I'll have a quick look and see if I can find anything of note down these side paths. I'm really having mana issues, as you might see here. You go and get in the light. Jump down here. Nah. I'm just going to zoom back to the light. Here we are. This is what I was looking for all along. Tap that. Oh, that's the cold resist amulet. That's nice. I'm quite happy with that. Pick up all of these. That leather belt could be really good. I've been using a terrible leather belt for a long time. Yeah, And Wind Dancer is, in a lot of ways, it's like Glancing Blows in that it's there to protect you from... It's there to protect you from the things that are most likely to kill you, rather than being something that reduces the amount of damage you take overall. And that's important. So you can see here that I'm really struggling a lot with damage, but I'm still keeping control of the encounters. And that's because of the evasion levels I've got. With that Jade Flask, I'm practically unhittable, except by spells, and especially because I've also got Acro Phase Acro. So I'm dodging a lot of the things that beat my evasion as well. So even though the fight's gone for a while, I'm okay. More damage comes later. Yeah. Yeah, no, the mana situation is crangled. Okay, so that's 47, and we're at monster level 48, which is good to be able to do. You know, I'm still ahead of the curve. Okay, so that's EMPing. EMPs were super scary early in Delve, but they got nerfed hard. They actually got nerfed because there was a bug to them that was making them worse than they were meant to be. But it then basically removed them from the game. The nerf, like they were nerfed so hard that they no longer matter. It used to be that you had to flare through them. That's a really good idea, Claudia. I like that. So do you use a low-level cast when damage taken with that setup, or is it more of a I've taken a big hit emergency button? I'm gonna play this again. This build is fun so far. Oh, let's get safe before talking about it. And this build will be much better in a trade league, where you can pick up the gear you actually want, rather than just like, oh, yeah, I'll just use whatever. So that's like 200 damage or something, 300 or 400 damage or something like that, I think. Yeah, to the lower end of the spectrum. I'm picking up chromatics still. That feels really weird, but I know I'm going to be so starved for chromatics later. That chromatic recipe is something that just feels so wrong to ever use. Come on, Belt. You're bad, but you might still be better than what I've got. Chaos.multi, that's not what I want. I want cold.multi. Oh, it's the ignominion. The ignomen, okay. I have no use for that, but I'm going to keep it in case a future alt wants it. What have I got? Yeah, I got a lot more than that. Okay, so this belt is miles better than the garbage I've got. Alright, I will equip it. I will not be particularly happy that I'm equipping something that bad, but I will use it. Caustic Arrow is apparently really good. Yeah, I was really struggling though when I was using that. This is definitely this is like cruising is maybe too strong a term, but I'm not experiencing any real difficulties. I'm not what I would call cruising, but I'm equally not struggling at all. I am concerned that, like, when I get to, say, depth 700-800, assuming I get to play enough to do that this week, because work has been so busy lately, but I do fear that I may really start to struggle with damage there. in a way that you're not seeing here. Like, I'm not getting overwhelmed by monsters here. I'm sort of falling behind sometimes, but then I'm regaining control of the fight. I'm concerned that I may not be able to regain control of it. Oh yeah, Toxic Rain Mines is something that's been a shortlist build for me for a while that I've just never got around to playing. Partly because I just want to sing the sing that Tai Zonde song. Toxic Rain. Everywhere you look, enemies scream in pain. Toxic Rain. Yeah, and that's a song I can't hit the notes in at all. That's a useful set of colours there. I'm going to have a look at that in case it's already good. Oh, 25% move speed. No life, but 25% move speed. I'm going to use that. I don't care. Move speed, best defensive stat in the game. I think. What's my resist profile look like now? So that's great, sleep deprived. Toxic rain, tossing mines and spreading out some pain. Toxic rain, enemies they scream and die in pain. Yeah, I do like that as a build. As I say, it's something I should try at some point. I'm definitely prioritizing getting all the super convenient Azurite nodes on the way down. Feels so wrong not having Onslaught at the start of a node. Forgotten Wealth, I will pick that. Oh, that was forgotten for a reason. Lightning Trap, you get access to one of the best access to Shaper Glove pseudo 6 links in the game. EK? Yeah. Do you reckon you'll be able to craft one of those Shaper 6 links or not? Pseudo 6 link gloves or not? I think it'd be easier than getting any other 6 link. Slower Proj and one of the mine specific damage. Oh, that's Abrath. I thought it was the obliteration that a couple of people in chat had said they wanted. Oh, Tabula. Nuts. Yeah, they got forgotten for a reason, hey. I think there's no question about that. Now, let's grab all these easy Azurites. They're needed. Gonna hit level 50 soon. 50 will be great. 50 will give me 3 skill points, which will get me a large life cluster. One of the better ones. The Witch start area one. Witch only gets 1 start area life cluster, but it's a goodie. It's actually better for non-witch builds than it is for witches. Alright, so just tap the Jade Flask and go super invulnerable. Or, you're not invulnerable mode. You still take damage from spells, but you feel so ridiculously tough when you use that. Jade Flask of reflexes at this level is nuts. Okay, and let's go grab this one. Oh yeah, I'm glad it's working well. Like that's a skill that it's one of the oldest skills in the game too, isn't it? It's like been around since open beta. I think it's like predates me playing. The Mana Flask. The Mana Flask is just struggling. It's really not able to keep up, hey? I need a better one. I mean, I need to get better at using it preemptively before it's actually needed. Alright, that's better. Crimson Jewel is one of the, something fire themed. I don't want it, whatever it is. No, that'll do. So just having a quick look at everything here. So, Sabermoth, the answer is yes, but not in this event. So the answer is that if you set them up in Standard, every league that is parented to Standard will copy what you've got. But this is a Void League. You can't set them up based upon a Void League, unfortunately, so there's no benefit there. Chicken is dog, yep, I got lucky on the flasks. Tom, I wish. I'd be helping Alira in a heartbeat, even though I've got no benefit from the crit multi. Yeah, chicken, that's just going to come down to dumb luck, and sometimes RNG favours you, sometimes it kicks you in the face. And I've gotten lucky on that side of things this side. I do have that, yeah. I will use the mana nodes if I have to. For the moment, I think a Mana Flask is the lowest opportunity cost. That will change if I get my hands on very good flasks. But I don't own any very good flasks yet. Like, I could use... well, in theory I could use a Granite Flask, but they're kind of awful on a build that uses Phase Acro. So, actually, I probably wouldn't.
My mana is gone.
Standards, yeah, Standards a mess. Like, my Standard tabs are just a nightmare. But if you do spend the time to fix them, they will work in future leagues. But not in future events that are Void events. What you've got in Heist should be what gets reflected in Heist Flashback if you're playing that. But my finger needs a workout. And see how out of shape I am. Basalt, I agree, yeah. Basalt would be solid. This has been a lot of fun, honestly, Fingerman. I'm enjoying it. As I say, it's probably not the very strongest version of this build, but it's certainly serviceable. I haven't felt disappointed yet. Let's see how it goes when I get genuinely deep. And it feels nice being able to actually afford some serious upgrades there on the Azurite stuff now. Yeah, I don't think you get much further apart than that, but hey. Oh, that's Crangled. Ooh, 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 ooh. That's good resist on that. No life on that, but that feels so good that I don't want to vendor it. That, on the other hand, is not so good that I don't want to vendor it. That goes straight to the vendor. That was picked up to vendor. That is picked up to vendor. And let's have a look at these three. Oh, yeah, Aberrath's Horn, of course. Just forgetting what that was. And Combat... Combat Focus. I'm keeping Combat Focus because it's build empowering. Hey, Georgiosk. No and no, respectively. Necromancer with Slave Driver build path. Slave Driver. I'm trying to think. The person that I would ask any question to on related to Necromancers is the Twitch streamer Ghazi TV. Ghazi TV really, really knows a lot. He's worth checking out for that. Ivan, yes, correct. 55 is a huge power spike. 55 is where you pick up your Cruel Labyrinth. So for me, the Cruel Labyrinth is going to be a 20% movement speed boost that stacks with everything. So it's bonkers. Oops, wrong way.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Oh, they're doing all right. I think Ascendant has no real... There's no real bad thing about being an Ascendant in this event. I think they'll do just fine, to be honest. Hang on, where's my flares? There they are. Flares feel important to pick up. At this point still, I'm still Azurite starved, so I like getting flares. Cool, good luck, EK. Have fun. And I'll catch you around either here or Twitch or wherever. Probably mostly here. I think I prefer YouTube for streaming. Like, I've given both here and Twitch a go. Twitch just seems to have too many ads at the moment. So that's been my experience so far. I think I joined... I started streaming on Twitch just as the ads got really nuts there. And it seems like a lot of viewers are getting really annoyed with them. It's like, it's such a hassle to set, like to have to manually set ads to go off, because if you don't do it on Twitch, then you wind up getting ads at unpredictable times, which is even worse. Whereas a YouTube, I think if you're watching this live, I don't think you get ads. Maybe when you start, you might get one. That's level 50. Okay, that's good. That's... Level 50 means that I've just hit 3 stat points, and I'm 5 levels away from the Labyrinth, which is the big one. I also got that stupid mystery box. Don't buy mystery boxes, by the way. They're a terrible, terrible value proposition. But do open the free ones, but just don't treat them as being anything worthwhile at all. Yeah, or it's Amazon Prime shows is the other one that I get all the time on it.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Which is not as bad as a pay-to-cheat mobile game, but still. Like, the one that I get that's crazy, I get this on YouTube a lot if ever I'm on my mobile, is the ads for that AFK Arena game, which I think is a competitor for Raid Shadow Legends. And it's just like, what on earth is this? Is this a game that actually brags about having gameplay so boring that you mostly spend your time AFK? Like, and that this is supposedly a selling point of the game. Yeah, look, like I said, just treat them as a joke. I intend to, as soon as the Nightfall set becomes available, for purchase individually, I'm going to pick it up, but no way I'm going to buy it as a mystery box. It's like, they're a scam. They're just nothing more than a scam, the value proposition that they've got. Username checks out. Sleep deprived, username checks out. No, you can't, iMeaty. This is solo self-founder only. You can't group with other players either. Yes, see, my philosophy is always, progress is a means to an end. It's not fun in and of itself. It simply opens up the potential to do new cool things. And so, like, once you run out of cool things to do, who cares about the progress? And those games, I think you run out of cool things to do very quickly. Like, very quickly. Can I just say I hate those spiders that respawn a lot of little spiders when they die? They're the most annoying enemies in the delve. They just always give me... Like, they just annoy the hell out of me. Oh, 67 life. That is great. That is getting kept. That's not. That's not. That's not. That's not. And that is because I was having some troubles with intelligence earlier. So that's probably never going to get used, but I'm going to keep it just in case. And, oops, misclick. So we have garbage. Garbage. 42 life. Yeah, that's not good, but it's better than what I have. That's rubbish. Starting to see jewelry get better at this point. Yeah, saving off. Look, they're expensive, but I think they've put a lot of thought into their pricing structure on it. It's like the whole idea is that they have worked out exactly, like, you know, that their target for anything cosmetic is people with a reasonably high disposable income. Their target for stash tabs is people with a low disposable income. And then for people with a much higher disposable income, they have the personal services like commissioning a divination card or a unique item or stuff like that. And I think they're very smart in how they price all that. So that's, yeah, there's one of the environmental effect things that came out of that free thing. Our Trickster on this is really solid, Claudia. It's like, it is very much a meta build. It's very solid. It's really proven itself over a long period of time as a good build. You can't go wrong with Trickster on this. As I say, Raider is me being a little bit hipster, without being ridiculously hipster. Pro tip, vend your portal scrolls. It's the only thing they're useful for. Same goes for transmutes as well, but transmutes have some uses. Alrighty, here we go. So we're currently Oh, I've forgotten to actually spend all these new passives I just got. That's kind of important. Passives are good, especially when they fix my mana issues and they give me life. That's good. I like that. But yeah, I can only say of this build, it's a lot of fun. Like, whether you play it as a Trickster for survivability, a Cultist also for survivability, but also for slightly higher top-end damage, or as a Raider for move speed, which is its own form of survivability, it's a lot of fun to play. I should actually compare those. Like, I picked up a bunch of new items that I felt were quite good. I should actually compare them to what I'm wearing and decide whether they're worth equipping instead, rather than just pushing on as though nothing is happening. Especially given that I am starting to hit a point where I'm having a little bit of trouble with these encounters. Like, this is not... I'm not in struggle straight at the moment, but I am feeling a little bit more pressure than I have been. And I don't get the incredible boost when I tap the flask. The Jade Flask, that is. The Jade Flask is so good for survivability. Alright, that's a quad blue chest. I'm definitely picking that up. I want to try and roll this into something that's less bad than the terrible thing I've got at the moment. At least I want to do so once this monster is dead and no longer haunting me. Wrathclaw, you can just die. Thank you. That's all I really want you to do. So, we're using quad blue at the moment. It's 32 life. It's 39 resists on it. It's actually kind of good. But let's have a look. 57 life with basically no resist. Okay, this has more life, and yeah, there's just no question I'm using that. So that may have fixed one of my resists, and it has. I'm still low on fire. So can I, if I got rid of that, I have some lightning on it. What I really want is to find some source of fire resist somewhere, and that will actually solve a lot of issues. I'm still using a white shield, aren't I? That should probably get fixed. Got a lot of lightning resist on that, but it's not all that great. No, it's not. What was this? 42 life, and it's got some fire resist as well. Yeah, that's an upgrade. That has more life than what I had, and it brings my resist closer to balanced. I prefer my resist balanced if I'm not at 75, 75, 75. I prefer them to be closer to each other. It is a lot of fun saving off. Look, obviously, if you've got more important things in your life, then give it a miss. But I've been enjoying it. I've really been enjoying it. It's been very different to the normal game, and it plays fast, but the first node is horrible. You'll do. Let's just use you on there. That is 41 life and no resist. No, I prefer the resist. So that can just go to the vendor. Crangled. And let's push on. Go down to hit some jewelry nodes. Yep, there's a lot of options for Inquisitor. I haven't played an Inquisitor since they were meta, which I think was like... It wasn't 3.0 that I played one. It might have been... no, maybe it was 3.0. Was it? Oh, no. I was playing Power Siphon then. Maybe it was... Maybe it's all the way back to Legacy League or even Breach since I played an Inquisitor. They were super meta for a period. Like, they were the best build in the game when Shield Charge was the best movement skill in the game. Then Shield Charge got worse, and that hurt Inquisitor a lot. And also, everything else got better, and Inquisitor didn't. Inquisitor sort of stayed at the same power level forever. Hey, Spoon Warrior, how's it going? Yep. All good, mate. You go back to the mines. Go back to digging out some exalts for everyone. Make sure that you find some funny stuff to happen in there. Attack builds everything since Blight, have you? Oh, you're exactly the same level as me, I think. Yeah, I'm 51 right now. Just sit here behind the Jade Flask for a bit. Alright, that's a huge dose of XP when you finish that node. Tap these things. These rings were probably abandoned for a reason, and they were. Abandoned nodes, just in general, are rubbish. I'll pick them up just because I can. Can I recommend you a good Inquisitor spell? So, Inquisitor I've gone off because the penetration mod on it isn't as good as it used to be. That doesn't mean they're not playable. I do believe a lot of people run them with Spark, and I'm no expert in Spark at all. I just believe that it's a popular and solid combination. I can't answer any more as to whether it's a good one, though. Just trying to think if there's anything else that comes to mind with that. Let's grab Cold Hearted Calculation. We're going to move towards Elemental Focus next, which will give us quite a bit of extra damage and additional effective chill. Additional effective chill then scales Bone Chill support, which then becomes a damage multiplier. Oh, 10 seconds onslaught again. Feels good. 10 seconds every time you kill anything. It's a transformative rather than a required duel from memory. But look, like I said, no expert here. And I'm not sure how rare it is either. So yeah, like, trying to think who knows. What else could you run as an Inquisitor? Really just any elemental spellcasting, any elemental hit-based spell should be fine as an Inquisitor. So there's 52. So now that we're at 52, oh sorry, now that we're past 50, we can start seeing 6 sockets drop more commonly. Wow, someone's at 450 already. Good on him. That's impressive. Winter Orb would work as an Inquisitor. I just fear that Winter Orb has been in a bad place for a while. But if anything can make it work, if anything can make Winter Orb work, it will be Inquisitor. Because you've got the conditional spellcast speed based upon having used a movement skill lately. And that should have a lot of synergy as long as you're using shield charge a lot. I think you kind of pigeonhole yourself into shield charge as an Inquisitor. Yes, Winter Orb Totems I've heard a lot of good things about. That's a build I've never tried, but I've heard good things. And the other thing is just the nature of a totem build. Super safe to play against bosses, especially bosses you don't know the mechanics of very well. Which is probably going to be the case for some of the oddball bosses in the Delve Mines. Even if you know all of the main 3, there's all of the special nodes that you might encounter more of in this than you would in normal play. Good luck, Ivan Rocker. Let us know how you go. What's the worst that can happen? Actually, don't answer that. Divine Ire Inquisitor Self-Cast. Okay, this man has balls of steel. That is going to be horrible in the Delve Mines. Absolutely horrible. Area with super fast moving monsters. I just realized I've only had 1 Valorb so far. That feels really bad. Oh, 2, sorry, 2. Want more Krangle Orbs. Oh, I'm getting miles deeper than my character level, which is something that I had bookmarked as a potential worrying situation to get into. I'm not going to delve. I'm going to start delving sideways in a sec. The reason I'm concerned about that is XP penalties, as well as the fact that I'm just slowing myself down heaps. Off-meta is fun. Like, off-meta is the reason I chose to go Raider on this, because I was like, Raider works. It's got a lot of synergy with the mechanic of the skill, but it is definitely not a meta choice. And I was like, you know what? I just want something different. now I'm starting to have a little bit more trouble killing monsters quickly. And I think that's because this area is tuned for you under the assumption you're already Cruel Ascended. And I get my Cruel Ascendancy at 55. So I'm not quite there yet. And this is a hell of a zone. These rower nests, there'll be a lot of monsters here. Be chaotic, crazy, and fun. I kind of feel like I want a corpse removal skill at some point. Whether that be Devouring Totem or Void Sphere, I don't know. Someone in chat was saying castle damage taken on Void Sphere is really good, and I'm inclined to believe that. So aggroing everything at once was a mistake here. I will get away with it, but it's going to be tense. And that's because there's a regen aura in there. So one of these things is so tanky. And it's making the rest of them tough as well. Oh, yikes. Splat. Okay, that was simply bad play. I aggroed too much at once. So that was the reason that I got splattered there. Nothing more really to say than that. I aggroed too much, I wasn't careful, and I paid the price for it. Give you all a bit of a laugh at my expense. Now let's remove that from there. I don't want my auras on my main hotbar. I want them on my backup. Let's go take this one first.
I'm not up to that just yet.
And that's where I thought it was there. So these fractured walls are really good for just finding... Not so much... This one's rubbish. Oh, hang on. That, was that what I think it was? I'll have to have a look at that once I get out of here. But I got a feeling... That looked like Inspired Learning. If that's Inspired Learning, that's amazingly cool. Like, I have to use that. If I'm right and that was Inspired Learning, I absolutely have to use that. There's just no ifs, no buts, no maybes. It's a Tier 1 rarity unique. It's a genuinely good item. And it's a build around Empower that I can find a way to use.
My mana is gone.
Alright, so let's get the trash... Take the trash out before we pop this node this time. Not necessarily all of it dead, but all of it at least under control. And I'll pop my Consecrated Ground Flask because that gives a bit of a damage boost as well. Regen and damage is quite nice together. So once this is done, I'm definitely IDing that jewel and seeing if I just tricked myself into believing I got a Tier 1 unique drop, or if I actually did. Because if I did, that's going to be amazing. And if I did get it, it'd be the sort of thing that would be 1.5 mirror shards on day 1 of a league, if I had got it there in a trade environment. It's like something that can really set you up for a long time if you get one of them day 1. Okay, so let's see if if I'm an idiot or not. Oh, it's inspired learning. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, that requires a bunch of thinking. So, I am sort of close to this. I have Mind Drinker, which is not total rubbish. I have Soul Thief in range, which is not total rubbish. I've already got this taken, and then I'd need to take Frenetic, which is not total rubbish. I think that's good enough, to be honest. I really do think that I am going to be taking... I'm going to be using Inspired Learning. This is like the first time I've used this thing in a long time, too. Now, am I going to unspec nodes or wait till I earn nodes for it? I think I'm just going to wait till I earn nodes. I can unspec that one safely, though. So let's take that. Let's invest there and make certain that I can hit everything I think I can. Yeah, I can. Okay, so this isn't doing anything yet, but I'm going to be able to pick up Mind Drinker, Soul Thief, and Frenetic, and that is definitely, definitely worth it. Resourcefulness is... You know, I don't know on that front. How do I actually check that? I can't check it here. I could in PODB. Look, I'll find out soon enough, hey. Let's just ascertain which ones do I want to take. Oh, yes, you're right. It does. Oh, that's amazing. Okay, fantastic. So thanks, Tom, for that. I'm glad that someone's got the brains to pick up that that works. So, do I want 18% evasion rating or 18% mana? I think evasion rating is the better choice. So I'm going to take Soul Thief and I'm going to take Frenetic. That's going to cost me 4 points to pick up. I am actually thinking that at this point, let's just burn 4 refund points. Because to be honest, this looks like the most fun thing ever to use in a solo self-found environment to actually have to have inspired learning going at low level. Like, who has that? That's cool. Alrighty, well, that's inspired learning. That is going to put me in a good mood. Let's go and vendor some, crangle some stuff that needs to be crangled. Yep, that's gone. What are you here? Yes, you're getting used for sure. You aren't. You, however, are definitely getting used. So, what are your... Yeah, you are just a monstrous upgrade on that. I think that actually fixes all my resists. Lightning's a bit under, but I'm okay with that. And these Conduit Gloves, I've got terrible gloves at the moment. So, let's see what we can do with these. I can't equip them for another level or so. No, that's... Is that like complete trash? Yeah, it is. Yeah, waste of Chaos Orb on it. 54. It's got a couple of resists. Look, that will do. I'm going to just use that for a bit. Okay, so that had no resists on it. It's got some int that I might need. I don't think I need that int. No, I definitely don't need that int. Okay, look, I'm in a good mood now. That's the sort of thing that... That's because I died on this node. I wouldn't have got that if I hadn't died on this node. That's funny. Alright, let's go to a Harbinger, because Harbingers with Inspired Learning should be a lot of fun. And also, remind me at some point to Varlorb that Inspired Learning, like late in the event. Just for the sake of wasting it and being an idiot. Especially given that this is voided.
My mana is gone.
Alright, so here's a rare monster. I haven't killed it. That's going to be a problem. I need to... Yeah, there we go. So I picked up one of the mods, and I'm not sure what it was. That's a haste aura there, so I'm definitely going to drop one of these down, and I think it was a haste aura? Oh, was that, I hope it wasn't the weak aura, like the one that's great but not for me, the allies deal increased physical damage. But yeah, had I got that on day one of a new league, that would be like 8-9% of a mirror in trade. They're so valuable on day one because the very best players, the people who are pushing for 100 first, they throw all of their resources into buying Inspired Learnings on day one. Because they're so good on builds that are catered for them. Quicksilver. Unfortunately, there are no tips, Ivan. It is purely about RNG. I got mine luckily in early, but I can offer you no tips. I was waiting a while for my Jade Flask. I think I got my Jade Flask at like 39 or something like that. Or 55. Awesome, that's my Ascendancy. So I've actually just hit the Ascendancy now. That's going to give me double effective Onslaught, which is amazing. I have to clip that Inspired Learning. I got to figure out how to do that on YouTube. Because I wasn't sure that it was IL when it dropped. I was like, oh, that looks like IL, but it also looks like one of the less valuable Crimson... Well, not valuable because it's SSF, but it also looks like one of the more common jewels. That's a very good point from Spoon Warrior. Definitely, definitely listen to them. They know what they're talking about. The random nodes do have a good chance of dropping them from flasks in general from memory. I'm not willing to play Vortex on left click. I want control. And also I want control over the mana spend. It's something I see people do if they're using a Hex Touch support, which is the new name for Curse on Hit. Just because people will always forget what Hex... Like, they won't know what Hex Touch is, but... Yeah, Hex Touch / Curse on Hit. That's where you want to use it on your left mouse button. I really don't like it on when it's like your primary link. Alrighty, well, let's pick up those Ancient Shards because it's unlikely I'll ever do anything with them, but hey, I just feel like I've had some luck with super RNG stuff today. Cavalry Scepter I will pick up. I have seen... Yeah, so Rakamvu... people often use Hex Touch on Vortex. Now, I'm not, because I'm using Vortex as a skill to deal damage. But what people sometimes do on different builds is Vortex linked to Bone Chill support, linked to Hex Touch, linked to whatever, like say Frostbite. That's quite a powerful combination. But it's not appropriate for this build, because this build wants to actually apply damage with its with that. Yeah, Legend Dusty. I didn't play Mayhem as much because I got busy at work. So I ended up getting less Mayhem than I wanted to get in. But that's the things that happen sometimes, unfortunately. Altar of Ascendancy. Alrighty, this is what we wanted to see. Onslaught effect, like evasion rating, more onslaught effects. So we have a total of 15% 15% onslaught effect, 15%, 100%. We have a total of 230% onslaught effect. So onslaught is giving us 46% increased move speed. Mana was definitely an issue, Legend. It was definitely painful. But like, it was just a mana flask issue for me. That was my approach to it. It worked, but yeah, it was definitely Mana Flask City. I don't mind using a Mana Flask myself. I know a lot of people hate it, but I don't feel that bad using them. Oh, hang on. That was to be equipped, wasn't it? So we're looking for single green, trip blue single green, which should be very easy to roll here, and it is. But I am already low on chromatics again, which is painful. Alright, so that's just somewhat of an upgrade there. How are we looking now from a... We're still low on lightning resist. Oh, yep. Okay. Oh, that was laggy then for a second. Let's just have a quick think for a sec what we're going to do next. I'm just going to keep pushing downwards, I think, at this point. So we will go and put Inspired Learning to the test. Deeper, deeper, ever deeper. 55. So slow at the moment with just the Quicksilver. And then all of a sudden, here it goes. 46% movement speed increase. We are moving it. We're a raider now. This is what we wanted to see. We are moving fast. We're moving fast. Enemies are hitting, but they're mostly not inflicting damage because... Well, they're missing because of evasion. Congrats, Claudia. Yeah, so Kerne, what I've changed is... Well, there's two things that have changed. Firstly, when I live stream, I don't get a chance to EQ my the sound effects. So the sound effects, I was sharply cutting treble. That was just because it sounded like I was getting a modest amount of treble feedback. I can't do that on anything live. Secondly, I have the webcam that I'm using is now my microphone. That's why you'll also pick up the... you'll hear in the background some sound effects from my mouse and the like. From my mouse and my keyboard. That's because I've made those changes. Path of Exile 2, Legend Dusty, that's the big change. That's going to be the huge change that they've been waiting on for years. I don't think that they want to do a massive... I don't think they want to actually obliterate the axe, because, let's face it, if you were able to do this type of leveling, the axe would be completely obsoleted by it. Because this is strictly better from a power standpoint than the axe are, and that's something I think they really want to avoid. If they do make an alternative to the axe for the moment, I think it will be quite a bit weaker than the axe themselves are. Ooh. Yikes, I'm having some trouble with this node. This is not the first time I've had trouble on this node. Those of you that were watching before would have seen me die on this node attempting it. Then go and run something else and get an Inspired Learning drop. But I'm definitely having a lot of struggle just with killing monsters fast enough to keep Flask uptime in effect. And I'm being a bit stingy with the Flasks as a result. Need to kill these things before I push on any further. Yeah, I'm intending to pick up a new PC shortly, Tom. I'm going to go high-end next time, so the last PC I bought was basically min-specs for the Oculus Rift and HTC Vive. I'm looking at going quite a bit higher. Well, I'm looking at actually going top of the line, like, second top, which is the 6900, the 6900 XT is the second, yeah, like, it's the second top, but it's quite close to the 3090 in power, and it's just, like, miles cheaper. Rip Smerte, oh, sorry, Desmerte, Rip. Hey, Super Sand. It's been kind of solid. I just picked up an Inspired Learning. So I had a long break today because I had an IRL catch up with friends. But it feels like it's strong except when this happens. When you get a super tanky monster with gains endurance charges and resists elemental damage. Those take forever. I don't feel like I'm really struggling yet, but I'm sure that will come up in the future. Ouch, yeah. This game is super brutal on the PC. Like, I can feel the heat generated by my PC when I'm playing Path of Exile, especially when streaming. Absolutely, absolutely brutal. These are very similar to the Cold Dot Occultist, really. Like, it has a little bit less damage, and, oh, speaking of damage, Cold Dot Multi, finally. Sorry, I just got a bit excited then. Because I got Cold Dot Multi. Yeah. What are you looking at in terms of stats? Some life, no, you're not good. Oh, you're not total rubbish. Yeah, no, you are total rubbish. And you are Fire Dot Multi. Yeah, no, you're not good enough. Okay, so you're Cold Dot Multi with nothing else at all. I mean, increased crit chance is solid later. Yeah, I would use you except for the Strength Rex. That's the reason I'm not going to use you, but I'm just going to hold on to you. You can sit in the corner like a good scepter, and maybe I'll find a use for you. I have a Rumvarax, which has fixed a lot of my resists. Like, that thing is so good in this sort of environment. Generally, vegan, it's like it's something that it's mostly OBS. Oh, this will be funny. I'm gonna pick up that aura that does nothing. Oh no, didn't get it. I got a single mod, not the right aura, not the useless aura. I may well do it. Yeah, I just did a different one actually. Why don't I go that way? That was dumb. I thought there was 2 spots. Yeah, let's do the Harvey node straight after this. Alright. So, I need to get new life flasks, and I need instant ones really badly. Alright, let's see if we can get the Allies Can't Die mod, which actually does nothing for players. I don't think it works on... No, I didn't get it anyway. But I don't think it works on player minions or on other players. I think it's just totally useless. Where am I living? I'm Melbourne, Australia. To my filter, I am using the basic Neversink one, Super Sand. So Neversink has put out a filter specifically for this event. So if you go to the website filterblade.xyz, that is the word filter followed by the word blade followed by .x for X-ray, Y for Yankee, Z for Zulu. You will be able to download this filter there. It's not mine; it's there. It's from there. Ladder link, I will let someone else. I will let someone else find. Why don't I just equip this thing? That's got to be an upgrade over the... I'm just using a low level one. Yeah, oh. When I said I'm using a low level one, I didn't realize it was quite that bad. Okay, that's gone. Alrighty. Visit mine encampment. I'm just going to sell those 6 sockets. So I'm stockpiling at the moment, stockpiling all of the jewelers that I can get my hands on. I'm going to need them at some point for a major investment in acquiring a 6-link. But that's going to be something for quite a bit later on. Let's go get this Harvey node. Yeah, it's a lot of work to customize your own, and Neversink is one of the very best content creators in Path of Exile. If you don't already follow Neversink, definitely have a look. Guy really knows his stuff. He strikes me as a great guy too. Which is important. One of the things that's going to be interesting is how much gem XP we're going to come across in here. Delve is so fast for gem XP. Just because you're always killing weak monsters. Okay, here we are with the end of this node, which is always a lot tougher than the start of it. Duck in, duck out. Never underestimate these flesh melters. They really hurt. Those monsters there, they are so painful. And that's Crangled. Yep, okay. Up we go. Let us go and hit this Harvey node. This is only level 52, this Harvey node, which is why I had originally intended to skip it, but I think JH is right. It should be done anyway. They're too good to leave alone. Especially with Inspired Learning. Alright, so here we are with this obnoxious monsters I'll deal with first. And hopefully this will set us up to the point that the rest of the Harbies are... that I'm sort of carried by 5 mods from Inspired Learning. I do feel like I'm getting carried by Inspired Learning on this fight now. Hey, good on you. Cobra Strike is something I've heard a few people say has been quite a lot of fun in this event. Like the auto chain certainly helps with projecting damage around both to monsters you can see and even around corners. What's your goal for this league, Keys? Are you trying to get to 90 or trying to get to like 300 depth or going deeper? Or are you just like seeing as long as it stays fun? I'm picking up endurance charges here. That's from one of the... I don't have any source of endurance charges. That's an Inspired Learning stolen mod. Yeah, definitely have fun, man. That's definitely something that will be a lot of people's goal in this event. Will just be to have some fun. Any prizes are a bonus. Huge amount of energy shield coming in now. Again, that's from Inspired Learning. That's going to disappear when this number counts down to 1, which it will soon. There we go. That's gone. I've lost the monster version of Discipline Aura. Oh, cool. So just recently started. It is definitely a good time. It'll give you a sense of the Delve mines as well. Kuka, the best build for Delve that's melee based is probably the slam oriented slam oriented Core Steel builds. So the ones that use War Cries in order to scale Core Steel, those are really, really, really strong at the moment. So there's no... Like, if you're looking for something powerful, that's the way to go. If you're looking for something fun to play, then there's a lot of other flexible options. I didn't personally find the Core Steel builds fun, but I'm not suggesting you wouldn't. So if you're just looking for something to try, Core Steel Champion's a good choice. And then if you don't like it, you can change to a different champion build. Just remember that you can't change to a Slayer. You are stuck with a Champion Ascendancy, but Champion's good. Or if you want to go a bit off meta, try a Juggernaut. Juggernauts have been really good in Delve for a long time, but no one likes Juggernauts all that much as a build currently. Yeah, this is really strict for solo self-found as well, because normally you have access to the crafting bench, and not having the crafting bench is a huge change. Resonator stash is nice. I always like finding them. They really do help a lot. Yeah. Resist for me have been fine because I got lucky and I got an Arumvarax, which I'm just using, even though it's in a weapon slot, I'm using it as though it's a shield. And, you know, it's a weapon stat stick that has 53 to all res, and all the rest of the mods on it suck. But I'm happy to use an item. I'm happy to use a weapon slot for 53% all res. It's perfectly fine.
I'm not up to that just yet.
So, yeah. I was just talking to someone IRL then. It's a lot of fun, but I think the problem with that is that it would, it would kill the campaign even for people who like the campaign, because it's so much more efficient that people would feel compelled to do it, even if they find the campaign more fun. I think that it could work if it was nerfed considerably, but you'd want to go for a goal where it's probably a little slower than the campaign, because the campaign's more varied. So it's going to have more of an enduring appeal. Oh, I'm definitely using that. That's a huge upgrade on what I've got. Fixes all my resistances. Yep, I'm definitely using that in a heartbeat. So that was, yeah, it's just a strict upgrade. Really like that. So does that fix all my resists? Yes, it does. They're not just fixed, but they're miles over fixed as well. I only need a little bit of lightning resist, and I'm actually set for post Katava's Merciless Affliction as well. Okay, at this point, I may as well actually just level these gems, even though I can't equip them yet. They're going to go in my chest piece. I can't equip them, but I'll just sit them aside leveling. Oh, sorry, I saw a question a while ago that I missed from Vinny on why I'm Raider rather than Occultist. Primarily, it's because I wanted something different. If you're looking for the power gamer approach, play as a Trickster or an Occultist, but Raider does have a lot going for it, especially this move fast. And especially with me getting lucky and pulling an Inspired Learning, the move fast is really good. I haven't put my clarity back on. That needs to be fixed. Yeah, I have had quite a bit of luck with the gear. Like, you know, even leaving aside that Inspired Learning, which was a nut pull. Like, that's sort of one of the best things you could get. Even leaving that aside, I had the Arumvarax, which was huge. I've got both of my flasks already, which a lot of people haven't. I've got my 2 critical utility flasks, the ones I really care about. So yeah, I've been lucky. I'd be interested to know how other people have gone if they've decided to follow the Raider approach to this.
I'm not up to that just
I've
yet.
definitely decided though that this build is fun enough to play that I want to play it again in a proper league, I think. Maybe not the next one. Yeah, I got... so Quicksilver's the only one that can drop really early. I think I got my Jade Flask, so it's 27 min level. I think I got it at 40. Oh, so you're thinking of it as a way to level alternate characters within the league. I do think that would be cool. Have you tried running the story fast? Because I find that makes it more fun. I find that the story at a relaxed and casual pace isn't fun unless I'm streaming. But the story at a frantic pace is a lot more fun, I find. I highly recommend trying it. Whatever frantic pace is for you, like that can be all sorts of different things. Oh, this is taking a while. So this is extra life, life regen, and resist cold. So yeah, it's a nightmare combination. I find the parts that drag out are mostly Acts 6 and 7. Yeah, that works as well. An inefficient run through the story is a lot of fun too. Like, you play something that's actually a terrible build. Oh, this is taking a while now. 8, I find, can be alright. 8, I find I can do quite fast. Jump into a public group as well. If you find that the back half is dragging, public groups are a lot of fun for it. Oh god, no. Funreal. I played without loot filters back when loot filters didn't exist. And that was long enough. Oh, granite flask. Ooh, I can't really put that to good use, but I do want to just sit on it for the moment in case I find a use for it later. So we're monster level 59 at the moment. I'm level 58, and I am actually starting to really feel like my damage is struggling. I have basically no damage at all on gear currently. And I think I'm kind of happy with that, because I want my defenses up first. Oh, this is that silly node. So it's just, against this vile rain of arrows guy, having access to the ridiculously powerful Jade Flask helps a lot. Makes an enemy that can be really scary be a lot more manageable. So now those extra support gems that are not connected to anything, but that I'm just leveling in advance of eventually using them, are starting to find themselves some levels. So that's basically preparation for when I get a 5-link, or alternately for maybe even if I get really unlucky on the 5-link side of things, it's preparation for when I flip gems with the 20 quality gem recipe. If you're not usually a solo self-found player, that's a recipe you may not realise exists. 20 quality gem plus a GCP sold to a vendor will return a 20 quality version of that same gem. It's not usually worth doing in trade leagues, but it's worth remembering it exists, because sometimes it is. Oops, misclick. That misclick would have been deadly if I was deeper. Yeah, I think that's going to be the case for a lot of people, actually. You just not yet found anything worth 6-socketing? so now at this point, let's have a quick think. What can we do with respect to the Azurite generator? Actually, basically nothing. I've got the flask, sorry, not flasks, the flare duration upgrades as an option. Those are sort of compelling, but they're not uber or anything. I will take one, but from there, all of the meaningful upgrades are going to cost a lot of Azurite. And this is going to jump us to 61. This is going to be a painful one. But let's give it a go. I think this is going to be a pretty ugly zone.
I'm not up to that just yet.
This is where I'm going to start really hitting some, not a brick wall, but a progression. A progression is going to get hard from here, I think. I may have to go horizontally a bit, just to get some levels and some gear. But on the plus side, we'll be monster level 61, so I'll have the option of the Chaos recipe, not for the usual value of trading it, but for the purposes of anything that I get that's got good links, I can use the Chaos recipe to re-roll it a lot of times. How high on the ladder are you, Kingren, at 88? That's pretty impressive in this event already. I know that the leader is 95, I think, at the moment. But 88's got to be a pretty impressive position. The chain hook I have never attempted to use. Curious to know if it's any good or not. In fact, I know absolutely nothing about that skill other than that it exists and that it was added, I think, in Legion. And it's got some sort of rage synergies with it, but...
My mana is gone.
I just heard a silver flask drop. That's absolutely no use to this build because I get onslaught so freely, but I will pick it up in case I decide to re-roll at any point. Bitter Dream is actually surprisingly solid. I would test it. You might have a lot of trouble with mana though, because you're going to, like, a lot of them, the pseudo links are low level. But low-level pseudo-links still cost their full mana cost.
Welcome.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage to spells, but no, I need my I need what I've got at the moment. Why did I pick that up? Because I'm an idiot, that's why. Let's just... Yep. Hey, Chandraska, how's it going? You would have missed it when I had something drop before. This was kind of unexpected. I wasn't thinking I would see Inspired Learning in a solo self-found event. But I got an Inspired Learning, so...
I'm not up to that just yet.
Yeah, I've heard that, like, I've never heard anyone rave about the skill, and I usually think that's a bad sign. Like, if a skill is not terrible, usually someone likes it. Yeah, that's what I thought, man. That's what I thought. I was rather happy to see that drop. It's like something a little bit different and cool. I say go for it. Yeah, it's like there was a saying for that 10 years ago. Hashtag YOLO. I'm zipping around with every aura in the book. Ah, that's Basalt Flask. Nice. So that's the very last utility flask that I'm likely to want. Oh, you got a tabular at level 2. Like the hardest node of all was the first one, and you got a tabular from it. I would happily trade my Inspired Learning for a tabular, even though I know I'll get a tabular later. I know that feeling, Keys. Hey, it's like, not sure if everyone that said YOLO is, if people stopped saying YOLO, or if everyone that said YOLO has died. Now, I did want to pick this up, didn't I? Yeah, that's kind of solid. A big area of effect node there. And then we were picking up the AoE cluster here. All this area now. When you say you're doing discharge, Conrad, are you doing discharge as a... are you doing it as a Ignite Prolift Chieftain? Or are you doing something else with it? I've heard good things about that build. It's not supposed to be extraordinary, but it's supposed to be pretty solid. Oh, we got a city. That's going to be chaotic and fun. Oh, yeah. How are you handling charge generation? Just from, I guess you got your Trickster charge generation, don't you? So, yeah, you get 2 charges on monster kill, hey. So that's really strong for AoE clear. Oh, Haste Aura is so broken. It's like the most nuts thing in the game to get, even though I just lost it. Except for Soul Eater. But cities are indeed good for map drops. That's about as useful to me as having a dead cat nailed to my door. Oh, Eldritch Jewelry. I don't think Eldritch Jewelry can drop at this level. I think that's going to be a Krangle chest. So let's hit this Eldritch Jewelry node and see. Yeah, it didn't drop at all. I thought that would be the case. That Occultist Vestment I definitely want. In fact, I'm going to pick up that as well. A couple of things here that, now that we're starting to just get higher tier bases, there's going to be some point to maybe rolling things. Now, Grace Life. Ooh. I'm not using Grace at the moment, but if I were to change to it, how good is that? So Grace has increased aura effect, is like another 300 flat evasion, which is pretty good. 84 life and 1 resist versus yeah, what's the relevance of those resists though? Oh yeah, okay. Oh no, I'd be losing fire to gain lightning. I'm actually going to pick that one up and fix up those that mistake. And okay, let's go to the town, check the generator. I'll just pick that up, and at this point we are going to see what we can do in terms of rolling better items. So these links don't actually matter. All I've got at the moment is just using this just for the explicits, which really is just the movement speed. If I can elk something better onto that, which I did not do, then I would have used it. Okay, Occultist Vestment has potential. This one is getting hit with those first. Okay, so Cold and Lightning Resist with Fire and Cold. I am overcapped on fire. So that's an improvement on resist balance. Yep, I'm going to use that. I can't use it quite yet. I need to get quad blue on it, which we've done. That will get used. These will not. You go to the vendor. You go to the vendor. And yeah, that's been kept. Okay, down we go. We're going to push towards 63. We're getting closer to getting to some dangerous zones. Alright, that took a little bit of time to render there. That's never a good sign.
I'm not up to that just yet.
If I do end up with a position where I start dropping too many frames, I will end up calling the stream at that point. Because honestly, it's like it's nighttime as well here. Well, it's a Saturday night, so no reason not to stay up, but... So that Rare Monster kind of needs to be killed off. It's hiding behind a pillar, I'm not going to bother with it. Is this not aggroed yet? Oh no, it has aggroed. Ambush boots I'll pick up for sure. We're looking to see. Leather belt has some potential. That's correct. There are absolutely no clusters here. Oh no, that just gives me onslaught. That's actually totally useless to me. That unique flask. Yeah, that doesn't work at all. Oh, that's a pity. I saw it and I was like, hey, that looks cool, and then it's like, actually no, it's useless. So I'm currently sitting at level 60. I don't want to go too much deeper, but I do want to do that city, mostly because the cities have a tremendous amount of monsters in them. So I may... Oops, wrong window. I may actually go to the city and then call it. What are you? You're absolutely awful. And why was I thinking of using this and haven't actually committed? It's got more life, it loses the mana, it's got less total resist, but it's got more resist that I care about from memory. So I'm just going to grab that, but I'm going to keep this. And I'm going to keep that for the moment as well. I will keep these flasks, because utility flasks are not the most common things in the world, even though I am seeing them.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Alright, so that's level 61. That was a big hit that I took from that monster.
Save a tree.
I will be getting phasing very soon. That's at level 68. I'll get permanent uptime phasing, and I think that's going to be really good. Could you not, monsters? That's better. Alright, let's just zoom on. So that monster does not want to die there. It's the one that's preserving all the rest of them alive. A tanky rare with allies cannot die. That totally changes the texture of the entire encounter. Alright, so I'm still picking up wands. The reason I'm picking up wands is that eventually I'm going to want to change to plus cold damage levels and cold damage over time multi. So I haven't made that decision yet, but that's my plan. Cold damage spells as a mod, though, is actually totally useless. It's actually worse than useless on this build, at least when I get my hands on Elemental Equilibrium later. The early Equilibrium will be quite some time off, especially because I picked up Inspired Learning, and that's going to slow me down on my original progress because I invested something like 7 additional points into it, into picking up a bunch of marginal nodes that do something useful, but that weren't things I was intending to pick up in order to use in IL. And IL is definitely worth that, but it's an effect on your build. Feels so tanky as a raider here. Like you can just sit there, sit in a pile of monsters mostly that are firing shots at you, and just occasionally Frostblink out when you get in trouble.
My mana is gone.
But it's genuinely uncommon that you need to do it. And I can't not play around with that Haste Aura for a sec, because that Haste Aura for monsters is so brokenly OP. Alrighty, I'm gonna do that city. Let's do this. Let's take the indirect route there. This thing is hitting like a freight train. Could you not, monster? Okay, let's just go back to town so that I don't need to deal with a tanky rare that's smashing me as hard as that thing is. That's a lot of resist there. I am putting this belt aside. I may use this belt when I hit the merciless Katava penalty. And why am I not... Okay, I have just realised that I have not been... I've not set up affinity here. I need affinity on that. That goes without saying. Yeah, does getting Inspired Learning count as Ziggy RNG or not? Because that was kind of cool. That can happen more often. Oh, the ring. Yeah. Sorry, I misread ring as RNG. So that's my fault. Because you did actually type ring as well. It's that's just me having crangled reading comprehension. Alright, let's go grab that chromatic because it's there. These abyssal monsters are super tanky from memory. And they're going to be worse inside the city. But the cities just have so much XP that it's going to feel wrong not to do it. And like, even though a lot of the loot that they drop isn't going to be useful to me, some of it will be. So you can go away. And at this point, we'll jump in. So I have a couple of headhunter mods at the moment. Alright, that's 62. Get out of the way of that thing. Malachi Bat. The name Malachi Bat was given to these things in the Abyss League because their slam looks like Malachi. And at that time, Malachi was still a terrifying progression block. Or at least it was recent memory that he was. Unusual jewelry. No, that doesn't work. Nothing that can drop is at the appropriate item level. Strange charts will be is a map chest which won't drop. It's not even that it drops at all. It's it can't drop at this item level, I don't think. Blast. Blast. That was me getting caught in the darkness when it wasn't darkness on... it wasn't clear that I was in the darkness on my screen. Yeah, Malachi boss was... Oh, that map boss was rough back then, hey. Really, really rough. I'm going to do the next Abyssal City anyway. I took that one too reckless, so I'm going to be less reckless this time. Because ultimately, I shouldn't have died there. I died because I was reckless. Go! Gee, that was a lot of damage there. Once you get that Jade Flask up, then that suddenly makes you a lot safer for a while. But I'm now in a position where it's not enough of a defensive layer on its own. Yeah, Delve is somewhat lucrative on the low-end currencies. I should actually spend this point. Alright, so let's be a bit more careful here than I was last time. Because I did pay the price for not being careful last time. Get out of that Malachite bat. And what am I... Why was I taking damage over time there? That's what I'm not sure why I was getting DOT'd. And that was what killed me. It was entirely a monster DOT. Anyways, I think I'm just struggling at this point. So for that reason, I'm going to drop back a couple of levels. And I'm just going to farm a couple more zones. Because I will get a city out actually completed. But I'm 3 levels under the zone. And that's fine and all at like when you're in mapping, but Delve's cities are much harder than a map of equal level. That's a Divine Life Flask. I kind of need them. I'm still using a really bad life flask at the moment. And actually, some of the deaths that I had wouldn't have happened if I was using a better life flask. Something that I always forget to upgrade to. See, I'm going to be fine as far as the quartz goes. Is it 6 more levels? I get, I'll have almost permanent ups time on the Raider quartz flask effect. As long as I've killed an enemy in the last 10 seconds, I'll have phasing, and I'll have a bunch of other effects from the phasing as well. It's Quartz Infusion, and also very soon after that is Avatar of the Veil. Maybe I'm getting them around the other way. Whichever one of them's first, and whichever one's second. Hey, nice! That's 15% move speed, always good.
I'm not up to that just yet.
These are the Australian nodes, the drop bears. And they give so much XP when you finish them, it's crazy. Absolutely crazy watching all that XP go up. The end of those nodes, it's incredible. Oh, they're the 25. Oh yeah, they're nuts. They're nuts. That level.
My mana is gone.
Something of note dropped. Oh, another robe upgrade. Okay, so at this point, well, next next goal from memory is crawl prep. Let's just go and hit the mine quickly. Now, go and dump some of these vendor recipe items. And some of these... oh, that's tempting. That's over 100 life. That I am tempted to Val. Off chance that I get a good implicit on it, and that could be quite good. Oh, actually, let's just vendor it because this is better. 74 life, 50 points of resist. It's got strength. Yeah, okay, I'm using that. I am just straight up using that. That's great. That comes in nicely because I'm going to hit Katava's Merciless Afflictions soon too. That, on the other hand, is rubbish. So you're getting kept just on the off chance that I want the Wrath effect, and you were usable now. You got a lot more energy shield, but you're worse in other stats. Let's see how you look on. When I say that, I mean in terms of what my resistance profile looks like. Perfectly serviceable. I lose a little bit of life, I gain a fair bit more AS, and it was just generally a better item, so it's getting used. And then we can vendor these off. Crangled. These, not good enough. Oh, hang on, but it's a Divine Flask. I need the Divine Flask. Now, can I scour and then bauble up that? I only got one bauble spare. Oh, I've got that one there. Okay, let's single bauble this, and then we'll transmute it. No, let's alteration for something better. Staunching, come on. Cautious is not awful. It's clearly better than what I've got, so I'm just going to use it. I will get better than that. Okay, off we go. More random nodes in this area. Get myself some more XP, and once I got the XP, then we will start pushing down. Once you get monster level 74, at that point onwards, it's normal delve scaling. But until then, it's the crazy delve scaling that they made for this event, where every level that you go down is a monster level increase. Yeah, the reason I got so much resistances is because I've got I'm using a Rumbrax. I don't want to use a Rumbrax forever. I'm definitely not using a Rumbrax forever, but it's perfectly good at the moment. It does what I need right now. It does it well. So the Haystorer. Haystorer is so much fun. Okay, so grab the things that could be caster items, and then we will push on. Just going across. Picking up these jewelry nodes, they have some potential to be good. It's more that I'm addicted to Pepsi Max and caffeine, actually, but I don't like coffee. I figure of all the drugs that you can be addicted to, it's probably the least harmful. So, I guess in that sense it's a good thing. F, don't use F currently. It was pushed to talk in another game, so I got used to not binding anything to it. I'll just make sure on that. Yeah, it's got nothing on it. So there's no skills I can press to pay respects, unfortunately. Just make sure that I'm going where I think I am. Yep, and then Cruel Prep, and then Alley Overload. Okay. Quickly jump back into the game and keep pushing downwards. Oh. So that's Q for Quebec, W for Whiskey, E for Echo, R for Romeo, T for Tango. As the So yeah, I just use I think it was the early in the game's life. It was the default settings from memory. I don't think it still is. Bloodstained Lockbox. Oh, that's the one with fragments. It's not getting used at all. Fragments do have a use for one obscure recipe, but I don't think it's one worth bothering with. It's a Varlorb recipe. I'm not getting enough Varl gems for it, so... So yeah, there's the Sacrifice at Dawn. Vendor that with 7 Vile Gems and you will get a Vile Orb, which is a recipe that people forget exists. But I think often it's forgotten for good reason because it's just not very good. Frostblink I am trying with. I want to know if it's good or not. I think Flame Dash is the better choice, but Frostblink has its positives too. Like the fact that you've got this powerful AoE chill is really strong. Like I sometimes actually use it offensively. It's where like I don't really care about moving, I just want to chill everything near me. I'm enjoying it, Damien. I'm enjoying it so far. It's adequate power-wise. I think my assessment that it's not the meta choice, but it's not far behind the meta choice has been accurate. If you want to go Vortex, Occultist is stronger, Trickster is stronger, but they're not much different. And Raider just has so much speed. I also got lucky and had an Inspired Learning drop, which has been a lot of fun. I've never actually used IL. I've used Headhunter before, but I've never used IL. Yeah, test both. Like, there's something really satisfying about those, about that AoE chill. There's often a tendency in this game where people, like, for utility stuff, they think there is a definite best answer, and there isn't. There's never a best answer to which utility skills to use. There's sometimes objectively wrong ones, but there's never an objectively right choice. It's like there'll be a few that are competitive, and then it just comes down to what feels more comfortable, what feels more fun sometimes, but, you know, just what gives you more options. Let's do this meat poisoning thing. Yeah. Inspired Learning, if you get it on day 1 of a league, it's always 1.5 Mirror Shards. Sometimes it can even be 2. So, like, it really sets you up for the league if you get it day 1. Alright, so that's a 6-socket 4-link item. I want to give some thought to whether I want to try and make a 5-link out of it or not, because it's perfect colours. I think the answer is going to be no, but I want to just give it some quick thought. So I'm going to jump back to town and think on that. So the average requirement to hit a 5-link on this would be about 70 fusings. Yeah, how about no? Oh yeah, that's an interesting idea. I think it can work. So I'm mostly looking for cold damage over time on various daggers and scepters and the like. That would encourage me to replace my shield. Ooh, nah, it's not good enough. I really don't recommend that, Bruno. The reason for that is the control over your mana draining. You will burn your mana in no time doing that. The only time I suggest doing autocast Vortex is if the reason you are using Vortex is to apply debuffs. So it's going to have a low spell point cost. And so that's, for instance, a Curse on Hit set configuration for it. Oh, that was laggy there. It's had a quick period of lag, but I think it's all recovered.
I'm not up to that just yet.
So once you kill your first monster, the Raider Onslaught kicks in, and it's a huge boost to movement speed. 46%, it's nuts. It's like a Quicksilver of Adrenaline almost. Yikes, a lot of damage there, and that's from Fizz Spellcasters. So it was a mistake for me to aggro that whilst the rare monster was still alive, but I got away with it.
My mana is gone.
Tanky rares, gets me some powerhouse inspired learning set up. So has anyone had a chance to play Cyberpunk yet? Or is it still such a buggy mess that it's basically unplayable? $65. So it's like it's as resource heavy as Path of Exile, is it? I've heard no good reports about it from console players. None at all. Which is a shame, because a lot of people were obviously hyped for it. Bruno, it was dumb luck. That's how I dropped it. I have a feeling it's is it Delve linked, or am I thinking of something else that's Delve linked? There is a unique item that drops more in Delve. I kind of feel it might be IL. Hidden Treasures, that's not a useful one, but anyways, I'll pick it up. These transmutes are really good. Those are my Identify Scrolls, because I am ideating a lot more rares than you normally would. So when the IL dropped, I didn't even realise what it was for a while. Like, I thought I was like, was that an IL? But I picked it up quickly, and I was in a hectic fight, so I was like, I didn't know till the end of the zone that it was actually an IL when I identified it. It's like, oh, wow. Because there's a unique that looks a fair bit like it. I think it might be Hot-Footed. Or, no, no, it's not Mantra of Flames. It might be Hot-Footed. It's one of the other uniques, looks a lot like it. Enough that I've thought I've had it in the past. Okay. I'm going to do the triple... I'm going to do all these good Azurite nodes that we've got here. That should then put me in a position to buy some Azurite upgrades.
My mana is gone.
Oops, misclick. Oh, these are the nodes that are so easy to misclick. So that Twisted Armor node that I just picked up there, that has a... everything that drops from that is Varled, and they have a good chance of dropping really good stuff, like Corrupted 6 links, or just Corrupted 5 links. Corrupted 5 links are more common than 6 links. If I get one that's all blue and green, I'm going to use it.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Alright, you can go away. So hit 65 there, 3 more levels, and then at that point I will get my Merciless Labyrinth bonuses, which will be huge. That's permanent phasing at that point, and I think there's something else that comes with it too. Alrighty. Got to pick up these flawed Azurite veins and the like on the way too. I've not been picking up enough of them, and that's been a mistake. So I'm sitting at 97% of a level here. Be interesting to see how much I end this encounter with. It'll be a lot. Okay, that's going to go explodey. But yeah, as for where the IL dropped, I think from memory it was a Fractured Wall, and I haven't been checking most of them. Okay, so here's Black Howl, a Prime Stalker. Really easy fight, but one that you just want to be a bit careful on. Very similar to the weakest of the Harvest bosses, actually. And there we go, I got a full third of a level from just the encounter with the boss and all of its minions. So that's kind of crazy. Quick, grab that Fossilized Shield and duck back to town with the Chromatic item. And at that point, we will do our ID everything. There's a Stormcloud if I want to level another character. You're useless. Lots of stuff for the vendors here. Lots and lots of it. And I always check, when you're throwing a bunch of amulets into the vendor, always make sure that you haven't used some sort of vendor recipe you weren't aware of, because it's very easy to have that happen. And then suddenly you realise, oh, why'd I get an un-ID'd item back? And it's usually not what you wanted. This is... it's still a warding flask. I still kind of want it. Okay, that's easy. Cruel prep. And now once I've got cruel prep, my next goal is just going to be going straight to early overload. So let's go do the other city node. I think I'm up to it now. I wasn't up to it when I did the last attempts at them. I failed them, so I'm going to try it again now. Always unfortunate to fail a city, but they're not that important in this mode. They're just something that's a lot of monsters. Ooh, that was a hard-hitting pack of monsters there. Actually, in Abyss City, which usually you see a Val City first, and have different monsters in them. Alrighty, in we go. Oh, some pesky monsters still alive. Let's put them to sleep. Oh, I just got the I got the Discipline Aura, which is great. I'm not going to keep that Discipline Aura for very long though, and I don't want to rely on it. I'm not tanky enough to face tank these zones. I have to keep manually dodging monsters, tracking where they're moving, that sort of stuff. And there goes that Discipline Aura, unfortunately. Oh, it's back again. I just got it again. No sooner do I lose it than I get it back. I'll pick that up. I have four leftover, what do you call it, flares. Someone's already hit level 500, which is a very impressive achievement. Oh, hasty. Okay, let's hit all of these. Regals are nice. Bindings are solid, I guess. Grim Twine is rubbish. Pick up all these. All these identifiables. Transmute, which is just 4 Wisdom Scrolls. Alrighty, that's that side done. I'm using the floor tiles for light rather than using my own flares because I don't have enough of them. I just generally want to play it careful with the ones I've got. Keep a couple for emergency situations.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Oh, get out of that telegraphed hit from the Abyss monster. That's another couple of gem levels, which is always nice. Yep, I'll tank your slam, mate. Just come here and actually land it on me. Not like you're even going to land it on me, is it? Okay, and now at this point we will grab the rest of this. We'll aggro these monsters, duck back, drop a bunch of garbage on the ground for them to get hit by. Out of that. Ruined Armament's very worth my while picking up. Probably going to be rubbish, but they can drop some very nice caster weapons. They'll always drop identified, the ones that matter. I'll just pick it up now and check what it was. I think I had Cold Dot Multi on it, actually. I'll have to look at that. Come here. Yep, bye. Alright, that was a monstrous amount of XP in there, and there's actually still monsters to kill. I might hit the level in this, which will be a half a level in this city alone. Alright, not quite, but very close. So we're 1% from 67 now. Grab that Imbued Wand, grab a few Wisdoms, and then we're good to go. Alright, so I succeeded in that town, which is good. It's always annoying to lose them, but it happens. So, Cold Dot Multi, and... Alright, I'm keeping this. This is something that I want to use when I can avoid using either a Umbrax or my shield. So as long as I can get rid of one of those two items, which I should be able to do with the shield, then we're set. No, you're not good, you're not good. And you are safe to vendor. You're not going to trigger trigger some sort of vendor SP that I'm not thinking of. And let's have a look at this thing before throwing it promptly on the ground. Okay, at this point we are looking good. Let's push on further. We're now back to going downwards. We've done the objective we wanted there. I think I'm going to go downwards here. So that's 67, one more level and we get the Merciless Labyrinth. We get permanent phasing, we get a couple other good things with it. That's going to be huge, I'm hyped for that. Oh, you're a Bitter Dream, nice. I'd offer to swap you for my Inspired Learning, but unfortunately it's not possible in a solo self-found league. And no, actually I wouldn't. I'm not that good a person. Replica Bitter Dream is actually really good. Not that you can get it in this event, but I think Replica Bitter Dream is really good for leveling.
My mana is gone.
Yeah. Well, I get my Quartz Flask next level. It's only active when I kill a monster, but it's active for 10 seconds every kill. It's funny how I'm doing more damage with Cold Snap at the moment than I am with Vortex. The Frenzy Charge issue is non-existent. I just waste a flare. I'm an idiot. So I think I should only be like two or three nodes away from hitting 68. That's going to be so good. I don't think there's any point in fighting that thing. It's just going to take time. I need to vendor quickly. Here you go, vendor. Take those for me. And let's have a read of what these have got on them. You have nothing. Life and nothing else. It's a good life roll, but I don't think... Oh, hang on. I am using exactly that, aren't I? That's just like this with better numbers. Okay, that's easy. I will I'll swap that over. Okay, let's check the Vortex generator. I think I've got some Azurite in the bank, and I do. So I'll spend that, and I will replenish. And I might just pick up a dynamite. And that. Okay, that's good. I think everything's looking fine as far as the those things go. Next step is going to be stepping towards picking up Elemental Overload. So that's just a bunch of boring old Azurite nodes at the moment. But they might be boring, but they get the job done. They're what we need.
I'm not up to that just yet. I give you to the earth. My mana is gone.
Got the crazy hay store again. It's not going to last, but it's so good when it does. Okay, and let's just keep moving. Don't need to stuff around with anything there loot-wise, it's all garbage. Now, does Unusual Armor drop anything yet? No, it doesn't. That's one of the nodes that hasn't really worked very well in this mode. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with that. That was a nice lucky drop. Nah, 25% movement speed's better than what I got. So, oh sorry, better than that thing. And let's jump down into map tiers. Actually, since the Divination card was added to Drox, Inspired Learning's become a lot easier to source in a trade league once it's mature. So if you ever want to play with it, definitely consider picking it up from in a trade league. I've just got the crazy haste buff again. Away from that Shrieker for a sec. Alright, and there we go, that's level 68. Merciless Labyrinth Ascendancy is available, which is good news. Finally getting Glassblower's Baubles. They've been really starved. You can turn 8 Blacksmith Sweatstones into one, but still feels starved even with that. Alrighty, let us go and grab our Ascendancy points. So at this point we are picking up Quartz Infusion, which is going to be a huge boost to elemental damage, even more attack dodge, and also permanent phasing. So it's going to be nuts. When I say permanent, it's not totally permanent, but it's close enough. And then Avatar of the Veil is the thing that's going to finish everything off with a lot more, more defensive mods for during phasing, which is also during onslaught, which I have every time I kill a boss. Kill a monster or damage a boss. Alrighty, over we go to picking up this currency mod. Again, this is map equivalent zones, so we're going to start seeing more density and more loot at the end of them as well.
I'm not up to that just yet.
So we'll use our effective quartz flask here. We can run through stuff, which is kind of nuts. No longer getting body blocked by anything. So this zone has a secret passage in it. Oh, I'll pick that up. That's probably not the secret passage. It's probably down here. No, it's not here. I should be able to. Let's Dreadbanner give again. Just trying to remember the stats on it. I always get that and the Impale one mixed up. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I really should give that some serious thought, hey. That's objectively really strong. That's something that had slipped my mind because I only usually think of banners as melee skills, but obviously it's not all I can do. It is. It's sort of adjacent, like it's sort of comparable to having a huge more multiplier to evasion. The formula, I'd need to look it up again, but I did the maths on it when the Raider overhaul happened, and they added that 15% mod to it, and it was like, wow, that's so much better than I thought it was. But the formula is so opaque on it that it's like really complex to work out what it actually is worth. Alright, we've got that Raider speed happening now, and it's fun. Oh, this is just a one-noder. Here I was thinking that I was going down for a fractured wall, and it's like, nah. So the next big milestone is actually only 2 levels off. At 70, I'm going to get Elemental Overload. And that's the second last big damage multiplier that we get. Oh, that's nuts. I haven't seen that. Oops, misclick. Alright, so we're down to tier 2 equivalent maps now. Yeah, so that's equivalent to monsters having 5% chance to hit, isn't it? That's really significant. Like, that's a brokenly powerful defensive layer. Yeah, good point. Oh, shit. That was a hard hit. Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's my first hubris. Do I want to... oh, look, I'll pick it up. And I'll give it some thought. Another city, nice. Alright, let's go to tier 3 equivalent maps at this point. And this should get me to level 69.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Not joking around with that allies can't die. Very scary thing to leave alive behind you.
Mana is gone.
I think I said something about Mana Flask not cutting it. That needs to be rectified. I'm using one that had good mods on it, but I think I need to get rid of it. I just need more throughput from it. So I need to upgrade to more current level one. This is one of the sketchy areas where monsters have physical added as extra lightning, but I don't yet have immunity to elemental ailments. So I'm at risk of getting shocked here. The shock should be small, because these are individually small hits, but they do add up. Yeah, you can't get it without clusters, but it's something you could still scale. Like, you could scale it even without getting it perfectly. Because the things that scale the banner... Oh, yikes. That was a monstrously hard hit. Sorry about that. That just knocked me for a 6. I actually shouldn't be killing these things, I should be leaving. But it's one of those things that I'll just get in my mind, I need to kill these things because they're annoying me. Superior efficacy support, nice. I'm actually using that gem. So I will definitely upgrade one of the copies to a superior version. Oh, yep, I see what you mean. So it's the opportunity cost of grace is really high.
That would only slow me down.
Ooh, that was a really sketchy end to that node. That said, I'm in a zone that's higher level than I am by 2. Whew, yeah, that was rough. Okay, so let's have a quick look. See, we got a 6 socket. We have Jack. Sorry, Jack, you are a 1 unique I'm not going to keep. You are a cool unique. You're a lot of fun to play with, but you can also go away. Yeah, it sounds interesting. I no longer need the int on this, and I was only using it because it had the int, so that one's going away. Is this what we want? I could use that. That's fire and lightning resist on that helmet. I don't know how I am on cold resist currently. Am I still over the top on it? Yes, I am. Perfect. Alright, so I'm going to swap to this hubris. No, I'm not going to swap to this hubris because of level 69, which is next level. Alright, so now, efficacy, it's only 6% quality. I am still going to find a home for it. Oh, let's just throw it here. It can just get leveled without anywhere to go. You are getting kept. You are getting kept. And you have potential. In fact, you got a lot of potential. Why don't we just roll this thing now? I'm just going to hit it with this and see if I get the movement speed. I didn't. Nah, I'll find more of them. I'll vendor it because it's a chromatic. But that's getting kept. Oh, hang on, no, that's going. Hey, Helio. Yeah, I agree, Super Sand. It's like, at the moment I can get away with standing still. But yeah, at some point I will have to stop. Yeah, so Helio, it's been a lot of fun, and I got lucky and I hit an inspired learning earlier. So I've been stuffing around with that, which I haven't used. I haven't used in a long time, if at all. But basically, I'm doing sort of end of campaign / start of maps equivalent zones. I'm wanting to hit at least 70. Then I may actually end up ending the stream because I've been going for quite a while now. I've been going for 3.5 hours. The longest stream I've done on YouTube, actually.
I'm not up to that just yet.
But once I kill one monster, then all the raider buffs kick in. So I get phasing, I get double and a quarter onslaught. So just move like an absolute maniac through the zone. And when I do need to stop and cast stuff, I stop and cast stuff. Plus, sometimes in addition to all the other stuff, I pick up the speed aura, which is so good when you get it. Yeah, I had it drop in a 56 zone, I think. Something like that. It was about the time I was Cruel Ascending. I actually failed as a node, and then I thought I'll come back with Cruel Ascension, and did an easier node, and in that easier node I got the I got it. I actually get it before on kill as well. Oh, sorry, no, it's on kill, but I can also get it from max frenzy charges, and I am getting a lot of frenzies as well. So that's level 69, which is good. I'm going to just hit this. Yeah, on kill is the usual way, but I can also get the I can also get all those buffs from hitting unique monsters as well. Just so it's probabilistic there rather than guaranteed. Oh yeah.
My mana is gone.
So I'm at a point at the moment where these zombies, their on-death clouds are negligible, but they become terrifying when you get deep down in the delves. For anyone that's never played with these before, this biome, because of these sutured aberrations, becomes absolutely brutal because they drop Caustic Cloud when they die. And you can see it's only doing a small amount of damage there, but that scales up so much.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Okay, and let's just keep pushing on. I'm picking up all of these little currencies because I want a lot more. I want a lot more wisdom scrolls. But right now, everything's about hitting 70, where I get elemental overload, and that's like having a 5th link at that point. Then my big milestones after that are 75 for the Eternal Labyrinth, and 5 link and 6 link, which will be later. Unless I get very lucky, I'm not going to have a 5 or 6 link for a while. I didn't actually mean to pick that up. Now we're looking for cold damage over time multi on these things mostly, but any good combination of stuff I'll take as well. Oh, cold up multi. I need to think what to do with that as a jewel. I think I'm going to annul that, because annuls are basically worthless in this event, and I'll probably find one. So I'll annul that, hoping to keep the cold dot multi on it, and remove the trap damage. And then if I do, which is, obviously probabilistic, but if I do succeed in doing that, then at that point I'll have a good starting point for crafting a jewel. Otherwise, my jewels are going to come from using pristine fossils in conjunction with frigid fossils and maybe prismatic. Hey, thanks, Natakono. Ooh. Here we go, rate of speed in action. Oh, this is not just rate of speed, this is inspired learning speed as well, which is nuts. So much fun. Should get this stupid jewel more often. I think of all of the tier 1 rarity uniques, it's probably the best one to have drop. Because in Delve, you just are killing so fast. And it's so universal as well, like pretty much any build can use it. Yep, that node got forgotten for a reason. Oh, dynamite cache. Oh, I was full on dynamite anyway. Oh well. I'll still take it. a lot of damage there. I think the evasion... I just need more evasion at this point. So it's still a case that all my evasion's coming from my flask, pretty much. Not really from gear. And that holds up really well during the storyline, but starts to fail at this point. Okay, hit that pure living Azurite.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Okay, that's a level 70. All my skill points are in play, and I just got Katava's Merciless Affliction hit. Now, be very careful. I'll have to have a look at the Survivalist node in a sec. Be very careful that, especially if you're playing in hardcore, that you can get surprised by getting that node in the middle of a fight. So Survivalist, you say, that's cold resistance node down this way, isn't it? Trying to remember. Let's just find where it is. This one here. So 24%. Yes, that is indeed very good. I've got an immediate plan that's more important, and that is... Oh, I'm an idiot. I've just gone the wrong way. Dumbass. Sorry. Let me just get that first. So that's the most important node left. Now let's take Survivalist. I think you're right on that front. So I got 2 points left, which is perfect. I can take it. Yep. No, that's clearly a right call, and one that I'd forgotten existed. Thank you for that. A heads up. Did I just not click that? Yeah, that's better. Alright. I'm fine with all of those Azurite upgrades for the moment. Yeah, very, very good idea. So forget how much cold damage there is in Delve as well. No cold damage over time multi or anything else. So let's vendor these as well. Grab a few. Yeah, there is. Just zoom. It's like you're just running around like crazy. And I like how there's 3 very different ways you can build them that all feel really viable. That's something I think is really, really cool about the Raider Ascendancy in general. It just has more options than a lot of other Ascendancies have. Also, I'm still resist capped after Katava's Merciless Affliction. This is really nice to have. Now, let's go and hit a node to test out this new zone. So I need to get my first crit, and then at that point, Alley Overload should kick in and start actually killing things for me. Not seeing those crits though, and that's probably because I'm using. Oh yeah, I am getting some uptime on Alley Overload. It's pretty solid in packs actually. I keep forgetting that I've got permanent phasing now, or almost permanent, so I keep going to walk through monsters rather than just... Oh, sorry, I keep going to use Frostblink just as a way to avoid being body blocked, when actually I don't need to do that. Frostblink's for speed. Oh, yikes, that's an Exile thing. A null. The rarest currency and the least useful, but I do have a use for it, so it's okay. Oh, when I say the rarest, like mirrors are rarer, but how can mirrors be real if our eyes aren't real? Let's just get that kill so that I can start to move a bit faster. Ooh, that pack just smashed into me then. A lot of damage all at once. Ah, that was a lot of damage all at once. Yikes, I'm really struggling here. I am actually getting overwhelmed at the moment, but I'm going to try and get around it. I think I've survived it. Ah. Give us a sec on that. I've just got to get this, this zone is brutal and I've got to get it under control. These tanky rares just take forever. Like, they take so long at the moment to deal with. That'll improve when I get, Elemental Overload. Not Elemental Overload. I've got Elemental Overload. It will improve when I get the other one. Equilibrium. Why is this guy so tanky though? He's resist cold, that's why. And I don't yet have any penetration on it. Oh yeah. I think Frostblades does require a normal damage weapon. I think that you'll find that's your weakness. Alright, I'm not going to bother fighting that thing anymore. I just want to go down the chute. And we're in the city. I don't know that I'm going to succeed in this city, but I'll give it a shot. Stand here, aggro everything, get out. Playing this city careful because it's the deepest node I've done yet. So can I steal extra life from this monster, I wonder? And if so, how much? Oh yeah, I just did, and I didn't get all that much from it. I got some, but it's like only 10%. Keep saying it, but I need to fix my life flask. Oh, yikes, that was a big hit. That was an even bigger hit. Oh, that was 2 big hits in a row. One of those must be accurate, or maybe both of them.
I'm not up to that just yet.
Yeah, that's my thoughts there. Oh. So, just focus up. Got myself into a tight spot there. I've run out of flask charges because I aggroed a little bit too much at once. And I don't have the damage currently for these things. Like, there is no reason I should be doing this zone. It's just me being arrogant and being like, you know what, let's do a high tier monster zone because I can. It's not a smart move, but it's fun. And sometimes that's all that matters. Actually, always, that's all that matters. Yeah. I don't think Frostblades ever gets enough added cold to be functional without a genuine weapon, though. Ah, splat. That was me being careless there. I was too busy trying to click things and not busy enough trying to dodge them. Anyways, I think at this point I might call it an end to the stream for the night because I kind of need to get some sleep. This has been an absolute blast to play though, and I think it will continue to stay solid tomorrow. So if you're thinking of playing this, it's definitely functional. It's starting to struggle with damage at the moment, but I'm sure that that will improve. Obviously, I'm still using a 4-link. There's no damage on my gear. I'm using a Rumvarax to cover resist. So there's a lot of space for it to grow. But ultimately, it's just been a lot of fun so far. I do recommend trying this, but obviously, if you've got something else in mind, give that a shot. And let's just see before I log it off. Let's see if I can hit a good. Let's see if I can hit a good duel with my one shot that I've got here, because I'm. Oh, actually, I've gotten a null, don't I? Let's just annul it. Come on, annul. Oh, we got what we wanted. Come on, augment. Damage with wands, that's useless. I'm still regling it because it's a 2-mod duel, and that's no use to me, so I'm going to hit it with this, and hit cold damage over time multiplier, crit multi, which is useless, energy shield recharge, freeze effect. Yeah, I'm going to take that. That's fine. I'm going to use that as is. That's actually a pretty solid starting duel. But yeah, I will probably be back online maybe 10 hours or so. Whether I stream or not, I've not decided. But you guys all have fun, and I'll catch you around.